I think that allowing for the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel. On this Wednesday, this is Breaking the Narrative, and I have here with me two lovely people. Chrissy Mayer is here. Hi.
Woohoo! Finally, this is so exciting.
I'm so excited that you got your camera to work. That's why we were late. Sorry, you guys.
It's
We
my
were making
fault.
sure.
Yeah,
That
my fault.
it's okay, but we were making sure that Chrissy has her lovely camera on because she's so beautiful. Look at her. She's all festive and amazing.
All this.
I love it.
My holiday display.
It's so pretty. I love it. You got Christmas lights. It's so cute. You got a little green hat. How have you been?
Oh my God. I made today. I wish that it had been filmed. I made I caught the baby in such a way that, like, if it had been, it would have gone viral. Absolutely. Cause he was like on the bed. He was going to fall backwards off the bed and hit his head on the hardwood floor. And I like sacrificed my knee big time.
Oh,
He was just fun. And like, yeah.
It's like a Matrix catch. I always call those things like Matrix catch. When, like, you know, you do things like midair, you catch it, and like you're like, yeah. It's crazy.
I had a couple like those. There was another one when he was like less than 6 months old. He tried to like he almost hit his head on the pool deck. He like basically like fell out of his stroller, and I like caught him by his arm and like flipped around and like miraculously didn't die.
He survived though. Yay. He's still here. I'm so glad that things turned out all right. Well, thank you for being here tonight, Chrissy. It's always wonderful to stream with you. We also have Dante here, who has there's a Russell Hall chat for you already. Wear the hat, Dante.
I was just about to say something. You know, I didn't get the memo, and I feel very naked right now. I feel exposed. But no, yeah, Russell, I didn't know we were doing this, so I left my hat back in LA.
I just was like, I'm not really gonna brush or wash my hair today, so
this is that's one of my favorite things about Christmas is you don't really have to brush your hair too much. You can just put on a Santa hat and it'll be fun.
Pretty much, right?
You know what, though? I agree with Russell. It is December, and Christmas does also happen in places other than LA, Dante. So it's time for you to get a Santa hat.
I get it. Hey, I'm in Colorado. I'm sure I could find one somewhere. You know, I'm sure there's some hobo I could just snatch one off of.
A hobo, bro. There's this thing called Amazon. You know, you can just go on there.
You know, I think a lot of the Christmas tree shops nationwide have closed down, which was like my go-to. But yeah, a dollar store, like really any like card place would have them.
Mm-hmm.
A boat.
I kind of like getting different weird Christmas tree or Christmas hats because it's like,
Mhm.
they always have the different ones, and I like different styles of hats.
You
I'm
got it.
weird like that.
I have a
Um,
Well, now there's like a pressure to like, have a very cool ugly sweater, right?
yes.
I got invited to an
Mhm.
ugly sweater party next week, and I'm
Mhm.
like, everyone's gonna be all dapper with their cool, like, ugly sweaters. And I'm like, so now now there's stress on me to find a cool ugly sweater as well, right?
There's a
Yeah.
I
lot
can't
on Amazon because I'm always
Yeah. There's
checking
really
there.
nice ones on Amazon. Like there's ones that like it has Rudolph on it with like the nose that lights up, and
And
like
then
there's
there's
just
Oh,
a
lovely.
brand called Tipsy Elves, I think it's called.
yeah.
They have
It's
their own
cute.
Oh,
website.
that sounds fun. And on brand for me.
Yeah. They have like tipsy Santa ones, like not bad Santa ones. Those are good. The bad Santa ones would go well with you, actually.
Yeah, you gotta be like a cool black Santa. That's my vision
Yeah.
for you.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm trying to grow the beard in time, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it quite
Ooh.
there. But I do have the
So-
white hair, so
Yeah, like I mean, the beard it just needs to get a little bit longer,
it's a little
and
bit
then
longer, just a little bit.
yeah, and then you can put like the little like lights in the beard too. They have the beard lights.
Like,
Yeah. I
Proportions,
just need to
yeah.
gain like 50 more pounds,
Oh, oh.
No, you can be
say,
buff
"Oh,
Santa.
oh." He says, oh.
buff Santa.
Yeah, you got to be buff Santa. But tonight we're going to be talking about somebody else that's not very cheery. Well, maybe he is.
Or
He's
buff.
kind of cheery. Yeah, well,
Or
definitely not
straight.
buff.
Oh no. I
Look,
mean, who knows?
he denies that on this interview, but we are going to be EFAPing the Piers Morgan Nick Fuentes interview that just dropped on Monday.
Wait, Nina, you say
And-
he denies it, and you just showed me a video of him on a date with a guy?
Look, he says things.
Yeah.
The evidence speaks otherwise. We don't actually.
That was a date.
That was a date. He's talking about the famous Catboy date, which did happen many years ago.
Well,
look,
Chrissy, have you not seen this?
Now he's probably a cat man if it's been
Well,
years ago. No, I haven't seen this.
oh, you haven't seen that either? Well, I sent that to Anna because Anna has no idea what's going on with Nick Fuentes. So I was like, oh, you don't remember the Catboy guy? Yeah, this is the one that we're talking about right now. This is not what we're EFAPing, you guys. This is Nick Fuentes on a date with this dude.
All these fucking people get on my case. They're like, oh, well, you don't believe in dinosaurs. Oh, he doesn't even. Oh, wait, you don't believe in dinosaurs? And it's so funny to me because that's exactly the intended reaction. Like, I don't care. I don't care about dinosaurs.
Who is this man he's with?
I don't know. He's like a friend, and then they go to this
We come home.
little place together. They
There's
go.
been a shooting outside my house.
Did you establish there was a shooting?
They go shopping.
Can't they just be friends?
They're
Wow,
probably
he is like really smiling a lot at him.
They're really
Well, they went shopping together. They were eating like, French fries off the same plate, things
Aw.
guys do.
yeah, things guys do. That was the famous look. Like I don't know if you guys have seen that picture of him looking at the guy. That was
No.
that scene. But yeah, they go out.
Wow. And like
enjoying some time together. They go
he
shopping.
knows that this is being filmed, so
Just a day in the life of a straight
he
man.
knows this is being filmed. Why doesn't he take the time to say, like, just so you guys know, like, we're friends. This is a friend date.
I'm sure he
Being
has. I
filmed
haven't
before.
actually watched the full thing, to be honest.
Just something straight guys do,
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Russell's right. It's with benefits, clearly. I mean, there is such a thing as friends with benefits. Russell also says for $2, it's just two dudes helping each other out, Dante.
Look, I'm not judging. Love is love.
Love
I'm
is
thinking.
love.
Yes.
Love is love. We also have a Rumble rant. Thank you. Emorks says, "Hail all! Watching the present rapping and calming. What is calming like a Bob Ross painting episode? Aw, I love that. Thanks, Emorks, for the $5. So I'm going to give a little bit of a preface because I Nick Fuentes is a weird thing that's happened on this earth. Like, I feel like he's just a weird entity.
Weird happening. Yeah.
It's a weird happening.
An event.
So like, I was curious about him. I was introduced to him many moons ago by actually Nick Rekieta because he introduced me to like a whole bunch of the YouTube personalities. And one of them was Medicare. And Medicare used to do streams about Nick Fuentes before he became like super famous. And one of the things he talked about was the Catboy streams, which was the thing we just showed. So I kind of like was vaguely familiar with the guy. And as things happened and he got demonetized and all these things started happening to him, they took his bank account away. They deplatformed him across literally every platform. He had to go on Cozy TV to actually stream to his audience. And then he became just bigger and bigger and bigger. He obviously became associated with Kanye West famously, and Milo Yiannopoulos had a huge falling out with Milo Yiannopoulos, but still good friends with Yay, whatever his name is. And then and then so he's just been like, he's a force though. He is a force that's out there. And I am curious. I was like morbidly curious about this guy. So I started watching some of because there's a lot of clips that go on the internet about him. And I always feel like people take even us out of context a lot of times, especially if you say something spicy or whatever, people will take you out of context. And then, video goes viral and you're like, that's not what I meant at all. Like you took me out of context. So I felt like maybe this guy is one of those people who's being taken out of context a lot because he does say a lot of spicy things. So I figured, you know what, let me start to actually look into who this guy is and watch some interviews with him. So I watched Dave Smith interview with him. I watched the Tucker Carlson interview with him. I watched the Steven Crowder interview with him. But I was looking forward to the most was the Piers Morgan interview with him. And the only reason for that is because Piers Morgan, I feel like, is a little bit of a more old school liberal. He's been around for a long time. He knows how to speak to different people in a different way to get them to respond in a certain way. He is old guard in terms of like the media. But I've also kind of really admired Piers Morgan a lot for different reasons, because he is definitely, like I said, he's old guard, but he's one of the people who spoke out against the Iraq war when it was happening. He originally didn't speak out about COVID famously. He was on the wrong side of that. But then since he apologized about that, and he's, he is always somebody who's, I thought, actually does care about the truth or tries to find where it lies in the middle. So I enjoy his shows. I enjoy watching the absolute craziness that is Piers Morgan Uncensored. I watch it quite often because I like hearing the different perspectives. And I like that he gives the voice to the different perspectives. Now, for the last little while, though, he was just going on and on about Nick Fuentes and just talking about him to different people. And I was like, when are you just going to have this guy on? And finally, he did have this guy on. And it was glorious. It was a glorious interview. Chrissy, have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't.
Ooh, okay. This is going to be super exciting. I watched the whole thing. Dante said he's watched some of it.
I saw some clips. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to get into all of it, but it is a 2.5 or 2 hours something long video. We're going to try and get through as much as we can of it, but obviously I can't keep my guests here all night. So we'll try and get through as much as we can. But if we don't, we will possibly have to pick it up next time, or at least we'll kind of round it out and talk about how we felt throughout some of the interview. Anyways, before we get into it, though, I did forget to mention something that I wanted to bring up, which is completely unrelated. So before we get into this video, I wanted to bring up the fact that my friend Tom Connors has been hit. His YouTube channel was hit. For some reason, Mead Radio was demonetized. Obviously, YouTube has been acting really weird with regards to the AI stuff, and AI moderation has just been going nuts on YouTube. Uncool YouTube. I hope that you guys can go and retweet Tom. If you guys are able to, that would be really helpful. I'm going to put the link in the chats right now. So if you guys can go help him out and retweet it so that we can get YouTube's attention, that would be wonderful. So just, help a brother out. He is a friend to the Nina Infinity channel. Tom and I have known each other for many years, and I love the guy. So just wanted to give it a little bit of a heads up so everybody can go and retweet Tom's like trying to get YouTube's attention at least. Russell Hall for $2 says, and that's how Nick Fuentes got himself some puss. How?
Oh, with the
Maybe it
cat
means
boy?
Puss?
Boy.
Oh.
Oh, like the cat boy. Like that's the pussies. Or
maybe it is pus. I don't know. I can't tell.
doing like the space, because that's YouTube doesn't let you write certain things like that. Emorks over on Rumble says, also love the Stargate collaboration with you and Anna. Sci-fi is my thing. Thank you. I'm loving it too. Hopefully we'll do more of that. You guys can check it out on her channel. We hang out every Tuesday for the last couple weeks now talking about Stargate, so go and check that out for sure. Anna does have the link to the stream as well, so she might hop on. We will see if she will join us for a little bit. Russell Hall for $5 says, one of my biggest heroes is Jeremy Clarkson because he famously sucked Piers Morgan in the mouth. Oh, socked.
Sucked in the mouth.
Wow.
Sucked in the mouth? What?
What is this doing today?
He sucked his mouth? What?
Right in the mouth.
Wow.
Okay. I literally just found out what EFAPing is, and now we're talking about like guys sucking stuff in the mouth. Like,
yeah, like Verbal didn't know what EFAPing was. He thought we were going to be doing sexy time stuff on.
I'm like, are we masturbating to Piers Morgan here?
Yeah. He's like, I'm all lubed up.
I mean,
I was like,
EFAPing sounds like what it sounds like. I mean,
it's like, I'll EFAP to that. Sure.
EFAP is every frame a pause for those people.
Not my proudest EFAP, but we got there.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, okay. Now I know.
I'm so glad that I was able to.
Let me put this away.
True story. On Thanksgiving, my husband walked in on me EFAPing.
I feel so bad because every time you try to do something good, like you invite like miscreants on your show, like me.
I love it.
And shit just goes awry real quick. So
I love the miscreants. the miscreants are my people.
I felt so bad for Melissa Friday.
Oh no, it was so good. That show got a great reception, Dante. It was so fun. My husband said it was like the most entertaining show that I've ever done.
Well, you literally had me, Nick, and Zia on the same show together. Like, what the fuck? Like,
it was a mess.
That's a hot lineup.
It was a great mess. We have to do it again at some point.
And the worst part is, I think we were all trying to behave. I think we were we were trying to be good.
They were trying to behave, but I guess not hard enough.
Or too hard,
or maybe a little bit.
You said.
Okay, so here we go. Obviously, if you guys want to say anything at any point, let me know and I'll pause it and we can talk about it. This is again Piers Morgan Uncensored.
When did this come out? 2 days
Monday.
ago?
Yeah, it came out on Monday, and it was live. It was live.
But I do want to use this opportunity to get there. I've seen you talk as we prepared for this in exchanges with people and on your show, saying you fear it's going to be very hostile, it's going to be an ambush, all those kind of things. I don't intend it to be overtly hostile. I don't intend to ambush you. I intend it to be an examination of what you said on the record, an examination of.
Now, he says he doesn't mean it to be hostile. I did feel.
Then why else have him on?
Right.
I did feel like that was kind of the opposite of what happened. Like
I think Piers Morgan is a big opportunist. I don't know. I've never liked him. I think he's gonna go wherever the wind blows him. He's gonna do whatever he needs to do for clicks. Like whatever's trending, whoever the people are talking about, that's
why I was so surprised that it took him this long to actually get Nick on, because I agree with you.
First, he probably didn't want to be among the first. He's like, "Oh, it's completely safe to do. Okay, now I'll do safe."
That's actually correct.
Now that it's safe,
that's actually correct. And I think it's interesting too, because the reception of this interview and the prior interview, which was like the Steven Crowder one, was very different than the perception that was like the Tucker Carlson interview. So when the Tucker Carlson interview happened, like literally everybody was like, how dare you, Tucker Carlson, even platform this guy? By God.
How dare you?
Like
Yeah,
literally everybody turned into Greta.
Like when you have just platforming somebody means you agree with every single one of their takes. But by the time it's the third, fourth, fifth interview, then you're not really putting anything on the line.
Exactly.
Well, and also Piers was very public about not wanting to have Nick on the show. So the fact that he actually buckled and did it,
That's
I mean,
true.
he's obviously doing it for the money and the clicks.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, like originally he kept being like, I don't want to platform this anti-Semitic guy.
Right. He kept saying that over and over.
Like that's the safe take to have, like, oh, me no likey.
But then people like actually Steven Crowder, to his credit, were like, well, why don't you just have him on? And then you can talk about the stuff that you keep talking about him about and get him to clarify like what he means. And that he finally
Okay, so what's weird for me is he fought tooth and nail to not have Nick on the show, quote unquote, right? But he has Andrew Wilson on the show every week.
Yeah.
Like really?
And
like,
Destiny.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
he's
what's
had
the difference
Destiny
here,
on
man?
like a million times. And I'm like, this dude is disgusting. Like, why do you have this guy on?
Wow.
But I also like the fact that he has them on. That's the weird part about it, because I don't like them, but I still want to know what they think. And I think the best disinfectant to any of this is let people speak for themselves, right? Like if you don't like somebody, let them hang themselves, kind of thing, right? So I do like it when he has them on, because then they say the most ridiculous things ever, and you're like, oh, okay, like now I know what people were talking about. Just like with Nick, I mean, he does that a couple times in the stream too. So here we go.
What you believe or what you say you believe, and an examination of what your rising popularity says about the state of the conservative movement in America. So those are my goals from this interview. What are your goals? Why are you doing it?
I thought it'd be interesting. And, you've talked a lot about me on your show over the years, and this is the first time you actually extended the invitation. I think it might be the second, actually. I think we talked about doing it during A24 a few years ago, but you've talked a lot about me with the panel, and now you've extended the invitation to talk to me. And I think it'd be interesting for me to maybe clarify some positions and maybe get to know you a little better as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
There is a belief that you have two personas. There's one that you roll out now for podcasts and for shows like mine, where you come across as reasonable. And then there's your show on Rumble.
What? That's called having like scruple. I already want Nick to wipe the floor with him. Like, Piers so freaking unlikable. I don't know if it's just because he's British or just like the way I've seen him deal with other guests and like the way he deals with. I just don't like his way. I don't like.
He is very British. Like he's very British aristocrat. Like I'm going to teach you a lesson, my boy. And you're like, oh my God.
I want to know where someone like really stands on something, and instead of like, oh, I just have to. I don't know. I think my dislike for him comes from like not actually. He doesn't show any vulnerability ever. Like you never get to know him. At least with Nick, it's like he puts it all out there.
Well, I feel like Piers tries to walk that Bill Maher road. You know what I mean? Like he tries to come off as this '90s liberal whose party has left him. He tries to come off like that, but it's a lot more fake and very inauthentic. So like I don't hate Piers Morgan. I take everything with a grain of salt with him. Like,
I take everything everybody says with a grain of salt. So certainly Piers Morgan, like I said, like he's been around, he's old school, like he's old media. So it's like, I don't trust those people anyway, but at least I admire the fact that he's willing to have people on his massive platform to, talk it out.
This is what he has to do to stay relevant. This is the only way he can compete with all the other podcasts on YouTube is by running his show like a podcast.
That's also true. That's also true. I mean, he is competing in this very like he is a dinosaur. Speaking of dinosaurs, Nick, he's kind of a dinosaur.
I mean, but even with that said, he still has a big following. So I mean, it's
massive. Yeah, massive following.
Yeah, it helps to have like millions of dollars behind you.
Sure. Absolutely.
Must be nice. And someone to
Often
come by
come
with a lint brush. I'm trying to get that over here. I've been wearing this sweater since yesterday. I slept in it. All right.
Oh,
Been there.
We're doing it.
You know, a very unreasonable view on things. This is what Coleman Hughes said about you.
Nick Fuentes knows exactly what he's doing. He is consciously playing this double game as part of a long-term strategy to become popular enough to take the reins of power, at which point he plans to pivot towards the extreme and unpopular policies that he advocates daily on Rumble.
So first of all, what is your response to that?
Well, first of all, I would say that Coleman Hughes is a propagandist. He works for the Free Press, which is run by Barry Weiss. So I think you have to consider the source. And Barry Weiss is a pro-Israel partisan. Free Press is just bought out by CBS for $150 million.
This is true.
By Larry Ellison or his son, David Ellison. And so I think that's coming from a particular point of view. We can't pretend like that's coming from a vacuum or from some fixed position. That's coming from a propaganda outlet that's in favor of Israel. That's first. But second, I would say he is right about the two personas. And I think that everybody understands this on some level. On my show, I make jokes and I use rhetoric and I'm hyperbolic because for a long time, I had an audience that was small on these like dissident platforms. I was on D Live for many years. A lot of people don't even know what that is. And so I had a small following and we had sort of like an in-group sense of humor and memes and things like that. And you talk about it one way on a freewheeling live stream when I'm by myself and I'm ranting and we make jokes and we play devil's advocate. We play with different positions. But then when you sit down in an interview like this one and people ask me a good faith question, what do you actually believe? Well, then I clarify and I say, well, here I'm not joking. Here I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not being rhetorical. I'll tell you precisely what I believe.
Except sometimes he is being hyperbolic and he is being like that. Like, I mean, even in this interview, as the interview goes on, you'll see more of that. But to be fair to Nick, it's because of like, again, the perceived hostility from Piers Morgan. So he's kind of like, he kind of switches his persona.
Yeah, he gets defensive, of course.
Yeah. Like a little bit. I mean, it's natural too, obviously, because he's
if you're being attacked,
yeah.
I mean, you're going to lash back. I mean,
exactly.
As far as this idea that I'm going to get power and then turn into Hitler, that just sounds totally insane to me. I'll be honest. It just sounds insane.
I would love to see that.
Does it sound insane to you guys? Like, do you think Nick would ever, like, if he ever got power?
If he could pull that off, I would say that's amazing. And like, honestly, if he's thinking about politics, what politician doesn't do that? You know, they have their opinions. Even I'm hoping with Zoran, like I feel like after his meeting with Trump, I feel like that meeting was all about like, you're not going to do all your crazy communist bullshit, are you? Okay, no, cool.
Yeah.
At least we hope. Right. Real quick, George the Giant Slayer is here. $4.99. He says, all hail. Have a Merry Christmas, Nina, Chrissy, and Verbal. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Thank you,
George.
Stopping by.
We were just on the show together like right before this. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Matthew Hammond over on Rumble for $2 says, allowing Richard Spencer to talk resolved any infatuation people had with him. See? Sunlight is the best.
Sunlight, and then if you don't have sunlight, Fabuloso.
Spray that shit with Fabuloso.
Do you have aspirations for political power?
Not really. I think that if I wanted to run for office, I wouldn't say a lot of the things that I say. I don't know that a lot of people would vote for me. I tend to offend everybody, even a lot of people that like me. So no, I'm a truth teller. I like to tell the truth. I like to do my live stream.
Who is Nick Fuentes? Tell me about your upbringing. I know you grew up in the suburbs of Chicago.
What?
I don't like how he says Fuentes.
I know. It's so British.
Nick Fuentes.
He says it like Fuentes. Nick
Fuentes.
He
says it like 3 syllables. Fuentes.
So British.
I just don't like him. I'll never like him.
He's very, very British.
Very, very aristocratic British too. It's not the fun kind of British.
He's just a cunty man.
He's just British. It's like when I was like reading the Milo warring with people online, and they're talking about like how Candace Owens' husband is gay, and he wrote like
Allegedly.
he's not gay, he's just British, and I was like, that's fucking funny.
It's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, because British people just kind of sound gay a little bit.
Tell me about your early years.
What kind of question is that?
Or early how? Like my childhood or a little bit
your
later?
childhood, yeah.
Well, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago in LaGrange Park, as you say. My parents are ethnics. My father's half Mexican, half Irish. My mother's Italian. And they both came from a pretty rough upbringing themselves. They both were raised by single mothers, not because of divorce, but because both of their fathers had died. They endured a lot of dysfunction. And I think that's one of the reasons they came together and they related to each other, and they wanted to create a normal upbringing for their children. They wanted to have a normal family life. And so they moved out to LaGrange Park away from the city, and they raised me and my sister.
See, I already could kind of see where he's going with this one. I was like, oh, that's not a good start, because he's trying to get to the whole, oh, you're an immigrant. Like, like he's trying to get to the whole like, oh, you're a Mexican, so why are you talking shit about like Mexican people or whatever?
He's like,
but if Piers doesn't know the difference between a legal immigrant and an illegal,
Right.
come on. He knows better than this.
he's not about to fix your roof, Mexican. He's just
Right.
Oh,
day
no.
laborer.
Oh my God.
Really put us first. I think that's a big reason why I tend to have a lot of these family values or Christian values. My mother quit her job and stayed at home to raise us. And so I have a very close relationship with my parents, with my sister. We're a very tight family. And we grew up in a pretty idyllic town. And maybe we can sort of get into a conversation about politics from this. I loved my upbringing. My mom stayed at home. My dad was working.
Thank you.
We're in a mostly white suburb in Chicago. Everybody was maybe half Catholic, half Protestant.
Right.
It was a baseball town. I played baseball for many years. In Chicago, we love our hot dogs. We have our baseball parade and get a hot dog. And so I love
So American, like, baseball and hot dog and white people.
where I came from. I love the city. It's a working class city. I love the people here. They're very good, humble, down to earth, decent people. And I guess I had my political, not to jump ahead, but this is a big part of where my political awakening came from. I sort of left this bubble, if you could call it that. When I went to college in 2016, I went to Boston University, and I read a lot of things online, and I realized the country does not look like LaGrange Park. It doesn't look like Western Springs or Hinsdale or Elmhurst. It looks very different. The country's undergoing a radical transformation because of immigration. And so I saw that and I said, this is not really a desirable change. I don't like the south side of Chicago or the west side or LA or certain parts of Boston as much as I like where I came from. And I guess that's what made me an American nationalist. I said, I want to preserve my home and the things that are familiar to me and the things I.
Nationalist is such a taboo word. That was one of the things that like originally got Candace into trouble, was when she said there's nothing wrong with being a nationalist, and people went, wait, excuse me, like you like Hitler, because he was a nationalist, and like that was like that's how that whole thing started. So I think that's actually a really interesting point, and what that Nick says, that's how he became a nationalist, and most people find that to be a very taboo term.
I think most people are nationalists. They just don't say that they are because the word sounds Hitlery, which is stupid.
Because it's taboo. It is.
Like about my home, what makes it America. So that's a little bit about my background. I don't know where you want to go with that, but
I suppose my first obvious question is: were your parents immigrants to the United States, or were their parents, or were their grandparents? In other words, at some stage, I presume there were immigrants in your family who came to the US. Is that correct?
There were. I believe my mother was fourth generation and my father was third generation. So their ancestors came here on my mom's side in the 1860s, I believe, the first wave of Italian immigration. My father's ancestors, I think they came around the.
He's so
What?
He's so smart. And he's so like prepared. Who
Yeah.
even know? Could I tell you what the mayors were doing in 1860? Nope.
Right.
Yeah, but because I feel like he knows. Like he's like, I know what you're gonna be asking me
Turn of the
about.
century.
Mhm.
I'm trying to see if I can speed this thing up. How do you do that?
In 1900.
The 3 buttons. Try that.
It's like
No, there's
what?
no speed.
Weird.
Let's see. Click on
100.
the full screen. Oh, there you go. The gear.
Why is it only like 1? There's
Weird.
normal and 1. That's so
Maybe they
weird.
don't allow. That's very strange. Playback speed. Go back. Oh, they don't. What? They don't give
That's
you the
so strange.
option. I have never seen that. They're like, you will watch this
let
in
me do
real
a
time.
Yeah, let me do a refresh and see if I can speed this thing up a little bit. Oh, great. Now we went to like the introduction of the stream. Oh, there we go. It fixed for the
Okay.
speed thing. So at least we can speed it up. I'll just fast forward it to where we were.
And I'll stop interrupting.
Man, I am. And so are my parents and my grandparents. Unlike you,
Okay, hold on. Let me go back a little bit.
where they instructed people on how to shoot firearms. It was
No, where were we?
1865. 90% of the immigrants were coming from Europe. I have some measure, but I think that the kind of immigration that we had for a long time in the country, and I realize the country does not look like LaGrange going a radical, like the south side of Chicago or the west side or LA or certain parts of Boston, as much as I like where I came from. And I guess that's what made me an American nationalist. I said, I want to preserve my home and the things that are familiar to me and the things I like about my home, what makes it America. So that's a little bit about my background. I don't know where you want to go with that, but
well, I
that's kind
suppose
of where
my first obvious question is: were your parents immigrants to the United States, or were their parents, or were their grandparents? In other words, at some stage, I presume there were immigrants.
Wait, real quick. Rhino, what's up? Raging Rhino. He says you need to have premium to speed it up. That's not true. I refreshed. I ain't paying for premium on YouTube.
Called you poor.
In your family who came to the US. Is
Stop
that
being
correct?
poor, Nina.
There were. I believe my mother was 4th generation and my father was 3rd generation. So their ancestors came here on my mom's side in the 1860s, I believe, the first wave of Italian immigration. My father's ancestors, I think they came around the turn of the century in 1900.
So your view of immigration, and we'll get to the specifics about your views on immigration, are they not affected at all by the fact that if it wasn't for immigration, you wouldn't exist?
Here we go.
As an American.
Okay.
Well, I would certainly exist, but like you said, maybe not as an American. Certainly that's influenced in some measure. But I think that the kind of immigration that we had for a long time in the country, it's different than the immigration that we have now. And let's just say for openers, it's different immigrants. They're coming from a different place with a different culture, a different religion. It's not the same as it was. So first, you have a qualitative difference. My ancestors, for the most part, I have 3 European grandparents from Ireland and Italy, 1 from Mexico. They came from Europe. They came from a society where there's a common ancestry, there's a common religion, common civilization. The people that have come in since 65, since Hart-Celler, they're coming from China, India, the Northern Triangle, Mexico, Venezuela. And so first, they're just different people. Secondly, it's a quantitative difference. There's way more, and it's an unceasing, always increasing wave. For the first 3 or 4 waves of immigration, you would have a major influx of immigrants, and then it would stop. And then you'd have another wave, and then it would stop. This one, it just keeps going up for 35 years. And it's too many. So that's really where I would draw the distinction between maybe where I originate from. I would even just simply call that immigration. What this is an invasion. It's a completely different policy.
But you mentioned
you
mentioned Mexico in that list, and your father is half Mexican. So
yeah,
I mean, by your criteria, part of the invasion would include your father, presumably, and his immediate descendants who came from Mexico.
Not really true, because when my father's ancestors came here, it was a small fraction of the total immigrants that came from Mexico. I don't believe that we should have 0 immigrants.
Well, and I mean, like, I mean, I don't know where, because I guess his ancestors went to like the Chicago side, but I mean, for a long time, Mexico was part of the USA. California was Mexico until it got. You know what I mean? Like Mexico is like it's like a different entity than China and like, you know, the Middle East. And I mean, it's part of North America. It's we're talking about a very different circumstance than just like the way Pierce is trying to frame it as if like this is just a Mexican issue, like like those Mexican immigrants, like
Honestly,
Well,
like
I'm
I,
sorry,
I
go ahead, Kristen.
expected, I don't know, I've who knows, maybe he'll get to it, but like I expected Pierce to be a little bit smarter from what he's saying. Like, oh, are you saying you want your dad to be deported? It's like I can tell he's just doing this for a clip. Like he
Yeah.
just wants. They're not very smart questions. Like it's not even. I'm just not impressed.
I was about to say the same thing. I feel like at this point Pierce is playing stupid. He's playing
It's
dumb.
gonna get worse. I'll
Like
tell you guys
he knows
right now.
better than this. Like he knows there's a difference between illegal and legal.
Mhm.
Correct. Yeah. And it's gonna get worse. I'll tell you that right now.
Ooh.
Morks over on Rumble sent in a $3 super chat, two $3 super chats. Thank you. He says nationalism combined with conservatism, like a Republican which preserves rights, is just means taking pride in one's country. And then he also says nationalism is not a bad thing. It only becomes bad when you combine it with the certain types of socialist ideology, because socialism takes away individual rights, which leads to atrocities. Very well put. Emorks. Thank you for the donations on Rumble. By the way, you guys, if you're watching across any of the all three platforms that we're streaming on YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter's. So please make sure you smash the like, share the stream anywhere you're watching, let people know what's going on over here. And thank you. Thank you very much.
Forever, or even zero immigrants from non-white countries. But you have to draw the distinction. My father's father, he was here in the 40s and 50s. It was his parents, or I believe either his parents or grandparents, that came here even earlier. Up until 1965, 90% of the immigrants were coming from Europe. I have no problem with that. If we have 10% of them coming from Mexico or Latin America, maybe that's reasonable, but that's not what it is now. Now you've got 10 million illegals in 4 years under Joe Biden, and you got millions more legal.
The strange part is, like, as an immigrant myself, I actually agree with them. I'm a legal immigrant. I'm not a refugee. I was a legal immigrant. We legally immigrated to Canada, and we, my husband and I are immigrating. Well, we're basically legally immigrated to Mexico because we are permanent residents here now. We're not really immigrants because I still have my Canadian immigration. I'm not planning on becoming a Mexican immigrant because I don't care about voting here. I don't believe in those things. So but still, as a legal immigrant to a country, I can tell you that I think he's right. It's too much. It's too much. Sometimes you gotta close the door.
No, I completely agree with Nick on this one. And here's the thing: that whole nationalist thing. I'm a nationalist, right? Like, I mean, I'm neither Republican nor Democrat. I'm not left or right. So, but it pisses me off, when I'm, scrolling, or when I'm just looking at something on the news and I'm seeing little Somalia, aka Minneapolis, waving their Somali fucking flags. I'm like, dude, you're here now. Like the same thing in LA. Like when they would wave the Mexican flag. I'm like, why come here then?
That's always been weird to me. Like, again, even as an immigrant, like in Canada, it's always been weird to me when, like, I would see like people like wave the Iranian flag or like whatever. I'm always like, you gotta integrate, man. You gotta replace that with a Canadian flag. Like, I've always been like that. That's just the way I am, because I feel like you gotta be proud of where you live. And if you're, if you want to move back, whatever. But if you're gonna be somewhere, you gotta integrate into the culture.
But see, Nina, that's what happens though when you become a legal citizen, right? You learn to assimilate into our culture, right? When you come here illegally, you don't learn that shit. So you do dumb shit like fly the flag of the country you just left.
You don't appreciate it.
Yeah, and like
especially when they should be like laying low.
Yeah.
But also especially for adults, like, because it's one thing when you're a kid. Like, I didn't have to do the test when I was a kid. When my mom and I became citizens of Canada, like, I didn't have to do that because I was a kid. I was like 10 years old, right? But like my mom did. My mom had to take the test, the citizenship test, and swear to the Queen because we are the Commonwealth. So it was a thing though. Like, you have to learn about Canadian history. You have to learn about the country that you're going to live in, and figure out their history, figure out their laws, figure out like everything they're about, and like literally like become the citizen of that country. So it's just different. Like what you're saying, Dante, is so correct. It's different when you're a refugee or like you're just coming down, just packing up the cart and the donkeys or whatever, heading down the state's border. You're not going to assimilate.
But also just being here illegally, you have no skin in the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you have zero skin in the game. So what you do is you come here, you take our resources, right? And then you send it back to the country you just left. So yeah, so if you want to call me a nationalist, fine. I'm a black nationalist.
That's right. I feel like that should be your subtitle now. Verbal riot, black nationalist.
Black nationalist.
I also want to be a black nationalist. I did.
And you know what, Chrissy? Today you can. Because anybody can be anything they want.
I'll do whatever I have to get the N-word pass.
Chrissy Mayer identifies as black nationalist. Breaking news. The funny part is like because Steph was like, "Hey, it's the black guy."
No, not the black guy.
Wow.
The black guy.
I was like, it's
There's only one
black guy. That's right. And like now it's the black guy nationalist.
There you go.
So there you go.
Immigrants from China, India, Venezuela, El Salvador. And it's so many with no break for assimilation. And they're all from non-white countries. It's transforming what America is. And again, that's the distinction. That's what makes it unacceptable.
I always believe everybody's a product of their environment. Right? I've interviewed thousands of people. Maybe 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people from all different walks of life. But the one common thing.
You guys believe that you're a product of your environment?
To a certain degree.
Yeah, to a point. You're a very much a product of how your parents raise you, but once you're an adult, like on your own, it's your job to finish sort of like raising yourself and fill in the gaps that your parents left behind because nobody's perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the values they instill in you. I
like
agree.
for me, I was, I was born and raised, quote unquote, in the hood, right? But yet, I was like amongst my friends, I was the only one that could speak the King's English and like pronounce my R's and shit. So
wow.
So I was looked down upon, right? Like they would call me college boy, like as an insult, which is crazy as fuck. As an insult, they would call me college boy, right? And it's like, so I grew up in this ugly environment, but it kind of had no effect on me as far as just like growing up, getting out of there and being somewhat successful.
Yeah.
Well, now you're the black
Now I'm the black guy. Look at that. I went from a kid in the hood to the black guy.
That's right.
Everyone's a product of their environment. And I was reading some stuff about you in the last few days. There was an episode of your podcast where you talked about your father, Bill Fuentes, and how he wouldn't take the family, including you, to certain restaurants because he believed they were associated with African Americans. We would be deciding where to go to eat, you said. What are we going to do for dinner tonight?
Face.
It was a running joke. Me and my sister would say Applebee's, and my dad would say we would never eat at Applebee's. Not in a million years should you be caught dead, Fuentes said about Applebee's. Go to a different restaurant, a local restaurant. No Applebee's, no Red Lobster. That is commonly known as black fare. And you also shared another story about your family and restaurants. It said before me and my sister were born, my family had a saying about Olive Garden that contains the N-word that we're not allowed to say. So my question, based on that anecdote that you say on your own.
Those Italian N-words.
Wait.
My ass.
I've been to Olive Garden many times. I've never heard the N-word there.
Oh my God.
At least not to my face. I mean,
apparently it's black people food. Do black people gather at Olive Garden or something?
No.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Italians are technically a little black, so you
oh no.
And then the what was it, Applebee's? Like we don't really hang out at Applebee's. Like Red Lobster is true. Red Lobster, yes, I'll give you that.
Oh really? Okay. That's interesting.
Have you ever had Cheddar Bay biscuit? This is why I'm
so
a black nationalist, because I love the Cheddar Bay biscuits.
I actually obviously not had a cheddar. What is
Cheddar Bay biscuit?
They're so good, Nina.
Nina,
you got to do it.
Box, but like it's the whole reason to go to Red Lobster. They're
it's kind of the only reason, really.
So not the lobster. This Cheddar Bay ribs.
No, you want the biscuits. You want the biscuits, and make sure you ask for hot sauce to go with it.
Wow. Okay, I've never had that before.
Talk to Hillary Clinton. She'll put you on game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not talking to Hillary Clinton ever because
So
I'll let
apparently,
her live.
apparently she carries hot sauce in her purse every time she goes to Red
Oh yeah,
Lobster.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. She
Only during
does.
election
I
season.
I remember that because because she's also a black nationalist.
Yes, yes.
Like
Hillary
y'all.
Clinton is down.
So my question, based on that anecdote that you say on your own podcast, is: do you think you grew up in a racist environment? That your father was inherently racist, and that thought process moved to you?
Well, I would say it's a new low. I've been attacked for being a racist many times, but to attack my father, to attack my parents based on anecdotes, I would say that's
Well,
sort of a new low.
hang on, it's your anecdote.
Yeah, but he's not here to defend himself.
You
And
are.
my parents are.
You told the story.
And I will. And I'll
I'm not trying to
I'll
ambush you.
defend
As I
them.
said at the start, Nick, to be clear.
No, it's not an ambush.
Nick, to be
but
clear,
I think
I'm not
everybody
ambushing you. I'm literally reading an anecdote that you revealed on your podcast. It's you that's put it in the public domain.
I know.
I'm simply asking you whether my assessment of that, which is that your father didn't want to take you to certain restaurants because of what you refer to as, they were commonly known as black fare, whether that attitude to African Americans in that instance.
Okay, let's be fair. Let's be fair to
Black
to
fair?
both sides.
Okay.
Black fair. Let's be black fair to both Piers and Nick here. Nick did put it out himself. Like he did talk about this. So is it fair play? Is it fair play for for Piers to bring this up?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah. If you say something publicly, then it's all fair game.
Like that's where I stand too, Dante, because I'm like, but you said it. So if you don't think that if it's something you don't want people to bring up ever, then don't say it.
This speaks to how good like Nick is, because he may have brought that up. Maybe technically it's fair game, but like I emotionally am with Nick on this. I'm like, yeah, he is talking shit about his dad. It's another I don't like Piers Morgan belt. Yeah.
But I mean, technically Nick talks shit about his dad.
Right. But it's that thing of like, I can talk shit about my family. You can't talk shit about
right.
He could have done this in a better way. Like
I agree with that too.
Piers could have got he wants to get to this, like, why are you racist? He could have got there a different way.
I agree. That's why I'm saying, like, there's a couple fumbles here. Like, this could have been handled better by Piers, for Piers to make the point. But having said that, it's like, Nick, like you did say it yourself. Like, it's not like he's just bringing it out of nowhere, making it up. It's not like, oh, so-and-so said something about Nick Fuentes' dad saying this. It's like, no, Nick Fuentes said this, like, so that's the part I'm like, okay, well, I mean, Piers does have a point. He did say it. So, but then again, Nick has a point in saying it's a low blow because it is. So there we go.
It's permeated to you. It's a reasonable question.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think everybody knows what that is, but I'll address it. I'll engage with it and I'll defend my father from the charge of racism.
Sure.
No, my parents are not racist and they've never been racist. I'll tell you about my parents. They used to have a school in Chicago in the South Loop where they instructed people on how to shoot firearms. It was a security school and most of the clients were black. And I believe actually one of their clients was Larry Hoover's son at one point, sort of a funny story. And so most of their clients would come in from the South side of Chicago. My grandmother, she grew up in the projects in the city. And so my family being in Chicago, being ethnics, being Italian, Irish, Mexican in the West Side on Taylor Street, all over the city. My family for many generations have lived near and around black people. And look, my views about black people and their views about black people are shaped with experiences with black people. And what they will tell you, what my parents would say if they were here, is that for many, many years, the older generations of black people were very respectful, very humble, very decent. In fact, my grandma used to have an anecdote. She grew up in a lot of dysfunction. Her mother was mentally ill, and they would be having dinner in the projects, and there'd be so much chaos and dysfunction and disagreement and fighting. And she would look across the way out the window at a black family in the other apartment, and they'd be holding hands around the table saying grace. And this is sort of the culture that used to prevail. But now what you have in the city is that there's no accountability for the black people. And now Chicago has become a complete dump because these teenagers go out and they take over the city. They call them teen takeovers. That's the euphemism for it. They're teenagers. But they all come from the same neighborhood. They drive up there, and
they have the teen takeovers in New York too, right, Chrissy? Like I think I've seen that mostly in New York, actually, especially during COVID. They had that whole weird teen takeover thing.
Like, how are all these kids just like unsupervised? It blows me away.
So wait, what is a teen takeover? Like, what happens?
Well, like in the one that I saw during COVID in New York was where like they had a whole bunch of like they get like those Humvees and like motorbikes and like different things like that, like the off-road vehicles and
just
stuff.
like I don't know, attack cop cars together, or like what was this
Wow.
like this school team in Philly? I think they lost a game and then they immediately all looted like a Dick's Sporting Goods. That's something I read
Yeah,
about.
they just like roam the streets like it's Mad Max, and they like commit crimes and like they're crazy. Like they're a bunch of hooligans basically, and they just they break into cars and they do fucking weird shit.
So it's kind of like what happens in LA with the smash and grabs kind of thing.
They just
Yeah,
loot.
kind of. Yeah. They just loot. Yeah, they just loot. They commit crimes.
And they mug people and attack people and they destroy cars and destroy shops. We had the Festival of Lights a couple of weeks ago. It's supposed to be a family event. And they light up the trees and they, there's a big parade. I was in the parade one year and you had a bunch of black people there shooting each other. 7 people shot, a 14-year-old killed in the Magnificent Mile. And I know there's a lot of black people that feel the same way about this. They say, we've lost control of the city. And we're looking for accountability. We have a lot of black people that are always outraged about racism, outraged about attitudes from white people, but they're never ashamed of some of these behaviors, never ashamed of some of the things that go on. And that's why I think there's a lot of negative attitudes these days. And so, again, I think those attitudes, you say I'm a product of my environment. I am. And so are my parents and my grandparents. Unlike you, because you're not even American, in Chicago, we have to live in a big, diverse city where there's a lot of different kinds of people. And I think anybody in Chicago would tell you the same.
I live in.
That's great, right? That was funny. Unlike you, not even American.
Well, he put him on the defensive.
Yeah, he did.
He's very good. He's Nick came in very prepared to this.
Yeah, he did. He did. It's very, you could tell.
I live in London. It's one of the biggest and most diverse cities in the world.
But it's not the same.
Well, actually, it's a big diversity. The only difference is we don't have the gun violence because we don't have guns. That's a whole different story. I don't want to get into that with you. I have got into that before.
Yeah, but that's a problem. You got sword problems.
We have problems with
Aladdin.
We have problems with violent crime.
You have Aladdin. Oh my God, that's too funny.
What did he say? He has Aladdin?
he's like you have sword problems. You have Aladdin.
Oh my God.
Nice
I mean,
problem. You got
the
sword
UK does
problems.
have
we have problems with
Aladdin.
We have problems.
What was that, Dante?
I said the UK does have their own problems, though, for sure.
It's true.
Problems.
It's true. Well, Pierce is saying he doesn't want to go there right now. So,
but it's the same thing of like, you can't talk shit about my country. Like, you live here. I can. I'm American.
Right. Like he's doing the dad thing with London. Don't talk shit about my country. Emorks over on Rumble sends in $3 saying nationalism with socialism gives you Nazis, while nationalism with republic like the United States gives you freedom. That's the difference. Thanks, Emorks.
Problems with violent crime. I make no pretense of it. So the idea that somehow I'm cosseted in London because I'm not in Chicago.
I didn't say that.
Well, you kind of implied it, but I guess my point about the environment, I'm not saying you are a product of your environment. I'm saying most people are in some capacity. When I read that anecdote, it's just to remind you, it's not something I have put out there. You told this story, right? And you said that
you said this. We're looping. You said this.
No, but you haven't really directly, I think, responded to it, which is whether your father would not take you to certain restaurant chains because he associated them with Black Americans. Is that true?
No, well, see here, if you're in America, you would say that Olive Garden is not real Italian food. Applebee's, TGI Fridays, this stuff is a load of crap. My dad was just a food snob, but no.
That's true. Like this is such a food snob comment. This has nothing to do with like, I don't go to this restaurant because there's people there of a different skin color. Like, no, it's like
it's like saying Dallas BBQ is not real barbecue.
Right. It's or like Tex-Mex is not real Mexican food. It's like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like this, I don't think Nick's parents, or at least the way this guy's told the story, means that they were going there to avoid Black people. That's not what, I don't know. At least Nick is denying that. So
it's got nothing to do with that. My best friend in first grade was a Black guy. We're not a racist family. So
okay. So when you told the story, I'm just curious. So when you told that anecdote, which clearly on the face of it is racist, right?
Although I do think that like Nick didn't have to say that my best friend when I was growing up was a Black guy. Like
And that was the
Come
last
on,
black
man.
friend I ever had.
Exactly.
It's
I
like,
hope he's
what?
doing okay.
I had a black friend when I was 8 years old.
He's
didn't-
like, I'm not racist. I had a black friend. It's like, dude, come on, bro. Like, are we really doing this? I have a black friend thing, so I'm not racist. Okay.
You're basically saying your father made racist decisions about where you would go as a family to eat. Are you saying, well, I'm just going to ask you a question. Are you saying that when you told that story, you didn't mean to infer that he was racist? And do you understand why when somebody like me reads that anecdote for the first time, as I did this week, I reach a different conclusion?
Well, I understand what you're doing, which is a sort of making of a murderer. How did he become racist? Well, his father didn't eat an Olive Garden because he said, that's not real Italian food. Hang on, can I, what's with the interruptions? Can I explain?
I'm literally reminding you of something you said on your show, which led me, to conclude a certain thing. If I'm wrong, tell me.
Yeah, it was said in jest as a humorous anecdote, and now you're trying to spin it into a narrative, which is his parents are racist. He comes from a long line of racists. And I think everybody knows my parents are boomers. And these people come, well, you're a boomer, I guess, too. And then yeah, so you're a boomer also. Or maybe you're a Gen Xer. I suppose it's sort of on the cusp. But it's a humorous anecdote.
No. Piers Morgan is not a Gen
He is not
Xer.
Gen X
Calling
at
anyone
all.
a boomer, it's just an instant win. It's just
like an immediate win. It's
you're
like,
legacy
point-
media. You're a
point
boomer.
Fuentes.
You got a teleprompter in that studio somewhere.
That's good.
So these are kind of the attitudes of baby boomers in society, but you're trying to spin it into a narrative, which is you're a product of your environment. Your dad's racist because of this joke. Now you're a racist. And I don't think that's a fair characterization.
Okay. People can make their own minds up. They can go back and listen to you say it. I mean, the beauty of
Also,
what I'm going to talk to you about in this
fair,
interview
To be
is that
fair,
almost all of it is just
since I am Gen X, my parents, I grew up, I was born in the 70s. My grandfathers, both of them actually, my grandfathers, my uncles, my aunts, I have heard them say the most racist shit, right? But I feel like everybody during that time was a little racist, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like a big deal. And that's why you can have shows like All in the Family and like Sanford and Son, where they say crazy racist shit. But everyone laughed because it is kind of funny. I mean, let's be honest, racism is kind of funny.
Yeah, racism can be funny. Yeah. And he kind of goes into that a little bit, Dante. Which
it was just a different time.
Yeah, it's a different time, and like what you saying, like he kind of like hits on those points. So that's interesting that you said that.
It's going to be reminding you what you have said and asking you what you meant.
It's like, motherfucker, we know you were going to remind him of what he said. Let me clarify again.
And by the way, I'm not making any kind of justifications for Nick Fuentes at all. I'm just saying Pierce is off on this.
Yeah, Pierce.
He's very off on this.
Yeah, on some things, definitely. Every culture does have a stereotype, even like especially by Persian people. Yeah, we have stereotypes. TZ Burton, member for 47 months. That's insane. Thank you so much. That's insane time, insanely long time to be a member. Thank you for all of your support. He says, "Merry Christmas, Nina, Chrissy, and Verbal Riot."
Merry Christmas, man.
Thank you. Merry Christmas,
Tiz Burton.
Thank you for being here. By the way, we have 411 people watching across all three platforms. Make sure you guys smash the like. Woo! Yeah.
Very cool.
Share the stream, all the good stuff. Thank you.
Your position about that story is that it was a joke. Okay. I want to come to something else you said. This is where you talk about Jews, women, and blacks. This is ridiculous.
Oh.
You're always coming up with, no, it's not the Jews. No, it's not women. No, it's not blacks. It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the fuck up. Blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part. And we would live in paradise. It's that simple.
It's a funny show.
That is a wild take.
Would you like to clarify what you meant there?
That's all true. That's 100% true. Everything I said in that clip is true.
Including that blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, all of them?
No, for the most part.
What does the most part mean? What percentage of American blacks would you like to see in prison?
It's just so ridiculous.
I like how, what do you mean? You mean all of them? No, for the most part. It's like, I thought that was pretty clear that he said for the most part.
Whatever the percentages of the murderers. I think it's 1 in 20 black men will commit a murder in their lifetime. So maybe let's say that 5%.
Oh, so you're talking about black people who murder people?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But you didn't say that. You just said need to be
Oh,
imprisoned
come
for
on,
the
but
most
we
part.
know what he
didn't verify.
meant.
Wait, do we have to specify like every color criminal?
Also,
criminal.
if you have to explain a joke, you ruin it. Like part of what I think people enjoy about him is his like he is funny, like whether he tries to or not.
Yeah,
But
he's
if
got
he was
that.
more nuanced and like, well, maybe just the criminals, like it wouldn't have as much of an impact, and he wouldn't have. There's a lot of people dancing around these same subjects. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's only a few people putting it like how he's putting it, which is why he's as popular as he is.
Exactly.
Edgelord,
Fine.
yes, Douglas.
Edgelord.
Lord of Edge.
Yeah, this is definitely
You
that
know what, though?
edgelord
There's a lot of money
behavior.
in being a good edgelord, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about black murderers.
Right. No, you're right. That's a good addition to that. That's a great point.
Do you think it's funny?
Yeah, I do. I think it's hilarious. I think it's totally true.
Do you think a black
I think-
Americans
Hold on, I gotta
Right.
rewind that. That's
need to be
so
imprisoned?
funny.
Attitude
Murder
alone is
people.
going to win this
Yeah.
because
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
doesn't
You didn't
act
say
like-
that.
that's
You
the
just said
prime problem.
blacks.
Hold on, what was that, Chrissy?
he doesn't act. It doesn't even matter how he responds to anything Pierce says, because if he just doesn't act like he has to, he's like a duck treading water, and he's pedaling. Oh, this is when he's not apologizing for shit. He's
Yeah.
not trying to re-explain anything.
Mhm.
He's very confident. He's very poised. He's like unflappable here, and it kind of doesn't matter what he has on him because like he doesn't care and he's not apologizing.
Well, you can also tell that Pierce wants
Yeah.
to get that gotcha, and he can't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can see that gotcha thing coming up for sure. Thank you, Aldo, for the $5.
Aldo.
He says, what are the panel's thoughts on Disney World hiring Black Santa this year? Also, the summer came and went, and Toxic Them never returned. Nina, this is true. We had scheduling issues, and unfortunately, it won't be coming back. At least for now. So I apologize for that. But with regards to the Black Santa, I honestly have no opinion on it because I don't go to
I find it
Disney.
ridiculous because everybody knows black folks hate snow.
Is that true? Is it like the water? Black people hate water too, right? And I've heard that. Is that
A
what-
black couple would never live at the North Pole.
Is it like for Epcot Center? Like,
He says the Disney World, right? Yeah, Disney
Mhm.
World. So yeah, Epcot and
depends, I guess, where the Black Santa is, what his capacity is.
Yeah,
Is he-
maybe if he's in New Orleans, then sure.
Is he working with a fried chicken stand? What is his job?
Oh
Right.
my god! Imagine they put him next to the fried chicken stand.
that would be wild.
That would be great.
Oh my god! that
Although
would
I've seen that before.
Is he
What?
frosting the reindeer's watermelon?
Oh my god. That reminds me of that like precious scene that you told me about Purple.
Oh dear God. Yeah,
my
we played that clip,
Yeah,
right?
we played that.
Yeah.
Now I just keep thinking about. Have you seen that, Chrissy?
No.
The movie Precious.
I actually have never seen it, but I've seen so many clips.
Oh dear God. So
Have you
there's a
seen-
scene that I showed to Nina where there's a scene where this girl, right, and we all know she's like this fat black chick who's getting abused, blah blah blah. She walks into a fried chicken place at 7 a.m, right? There's no such thing as a chicken joint open at 7 a.m. in any hood you go to, right? But in this movie, this chicken joint was open at 7 a.m. She goes in there, and understand she's supposed to be like 15, 16 years old, super overweight. She goes to the counter, orders a bucket of fried chicken. A bucket of fried chicken,
Whole
right?
bucket.
For breakfast. So
Wow.
she orders the bucket of fried chicken. The woman puts it on the counter. She asks for some biscuits behind her. The chick grabs the bucket of fried chicken, grabs it, steals it, runs out the restaurant, holding a bucket of fried chicken while eating it for breakfast.
It was so
Wow.
bad, Chrissy.
It was the
so
wildest thing I've ever seen. I sat there with my jaw on the ground.
Yeah, you gotta YouTube that later.
You almost
Chrissy.
you have to
You'll
watch
laugh
it just
so
to really
fucking
appreciate how fucked up
hard.
it is.
It's really bad. Oh my god. Okay, let's keep going with this.
Need to be imprisoned for the most part. You didn't clarify that you were talking about black murderers.
Right. No, you're right. That's a good addition to that. That's a great point.
Do you think it's funny? Or
I do. I think it's hilarious. I think it's totally true.
do you think a black American would find it funny? You think that blacks should be imprisoned for the most part?
Blacks are
Wait, we have a black American here. Do you find it funny, Dante?
I mean, I get the bit he was going for, but it wasn't like hilarious. But I'm not offended
Okay.
because I think there's a lot of black folks who should be in fucking prison right now. But then again, there's a lot of people in general I think should be in prison right now.
Jews.
Yeah, I was gonna say politicians, but Chrissy just went for it.
I mean,
I'm just filling in the blanks. People.
my biggest fans. I get high fives all the time. They say, Nick Fuentes, I love your show. They agree with me. And you want to know why? Here's the difference. Black people are the most victimized by other black people. You think black people want to live in the hood and the ghetto and get shot all the time? That's what happens in the south side of Chicago. You should come here. I'll take you there. We could go to Garfield Park.
I went to Chicago University for a year, actually, several years ago.
Yeah, that's a bubble. That's a bubble. You think you're in Chicago and Hyde Park? You don't know Chicago. Go a little bit west, see what it's like over there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, black people agree with me because they're tired of it too.
Nick just out-blacked you, Piers.
yeah.
He did in a way. Like it's true.
Oh, yeah.
He
He
did.
brought that up. He's like, I went to Chicago for a little bit. It's like, no, you didn't.
No, it's like your
No.
son goes to like basically white.
You know what it
Buffalo
is?
school.
That's like going to California and going to Malibu and saying, "Oh, LA's not that bad."
Yeah, totally.
Like, really?
Yeah, it's like, have you tried going to Compton? I don't know.
Compton,
Maybe not most
downtown
of them.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean-
Downtown LA. Oh fuck, man, tent city.
But a lot of them agree with what I say about that because they know how it is. That's why the first thing they do when they make a little bit of money is they go and leave to another neighborhood.
Okay, so what was
They don't
just
stick
remind
around.
me again, the percentage of black men who commit murder in America. What was the percentage you gave me?
It's 1 in 20. 1 in 20.
It's 1 in 100.
No, it's 1 in 20.
No. Less than 1 in 100 black US men commit murder. That's the most up-to-date crime statistics in America.
That's not.
Why is such a big discrepancy? I wonder. Like
He just wants to he wants him to be wrong about something. Like Piers is not even citing like where his statistics.
Yeah,
is
like where the
from.
blacks coming from?
he just said that though. That
Well, I
he,
have
like,
this. Oh, I have this
he's-
fact. I have this fact.
he said according to what?
Less than 1 in 100 black US men commit murder. That's the most up-to-date crime statistics in America.
That's not true.
Most up-to-date crime statistics in America.
He
Where,
didn't
where is
say
he
from
getting
where,
that?
though.
Brock?
I just Googled crime statistics in America and this came up. He just
What
wants
does
his
it-
clip.
Did you actually Google that, Chrissy? What does it say on your end?
Let me see. Let me Google crime statistics. Okay, Google. How
How many black people
How
commit?
many black men? How many black men
Black
commit
men.
murder?
That's right. Not. I guess we're excluding
I
women.
want to
in
know
this.
about the women too.
Well, we could do like separately.
I mean, women.
It says all of them. Hold on. Wikipedia. God, there's so many.
Does the Google AI say anything?
Read. No, it's not. Let's do
Yeah, there's
it.
no easy
mode.
way to figure this out.
No, this is annoying. I hate research. In 2023, there were 6,405 Black or African American murder offenders. That doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, I don't know where these guys are getting their numbers from.
I'm just Googling it too. The Google AI. Let's see. Let's go to Google AI mode. What's the statistic for black men committing crimes in the United States? It says relative to share arrests perceived. Why can't they just like have a very basic answer? I don't know. Black men committing crimes is a single all-encompassing figure all across crime types are not available. Oh, okay. Like
okay.
they're saying like you have to federal inmates latest data and snippets November 5th, black individuals made up 38.2% of the federal inmate population while white individuals made up 57.1. Okay.
The
So-
highest homicide rates were among Black males aged 15 to 24. 95% UI per 100,000 population. I don't know, man, but we
Yeah.
know. We don't have to look it up.
So it's anywhere between 1 in 20 or 1 in 100. Like, I guess, like
Pretty
we'll
much.
just-
I mean,
that's where he like. This is where Nick is. Nick is like, okay, 1 in 20. Pierce is like 1 in 100. I mean, I think it's either way it's bad, but whatever. 1 in 20 is also like obviously worse.
I've seen other statistics. They say 1 in 20 will eventually commit a murder.
So your rate means that you're saying that 5 times as many black men commit murder as the official crime statistics say.
Yeah, there's a report, I believe, on X by Data Hazard. I'll have to go and double check that for you. But yes, there's some pretty shocking evidence that says that it's far more alarming than you would think.
Okay, but you would accept that the official crime statistics are 1 in 100, or you wouldn't accept that statistic?
I don't know. I don't have it in front of me, but I've seen other evidence. Like I said, Data Hazard on X, I believe, produced a report about a year ago. It said 1 in 20. But I mean, whether it's 1 in 20 or 1 in 100, that's a lot of people, Piers. I mean,
Sure,
this is
a lot of white
problem.
people commit murder.
You know what? I agree with you, Steph. I think that they're making it obscure on purpose. This is like it shouldn't be this difficult to actually pinpoint something like this.
Well, they do, don't they?
Okay, but it's about proportionality. I mean, white people are 65% of the population. Blacks are 13%. And I think anybody would tell you that more black people proportionally commit violent crime than white people. And people vote with their feet. People would rather pay a much higher property tax.
Most mass
what's with the
shootings-
interruptions?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, you look at in Chicago, in New York, these neighborhoods are so stratified. People would rather pay a high tax rate. They'd rather pay a much higher property value to live in a less diverse, less black neighborhood because they don't want to live around the violence. And I think that when you look at even on the public transit, the subway, the blue line, you know, people don't want to go there because they know who occupies and menaces the public transit. It is these people like Daniel Penny had to deal with. It's people like Irina Zarutska had to deal with. And that's just the uncomfortable reality.
You've also...
Okay, to be fair, I'll push back a little bit on this one because like, aren't we just talking about like mentally ill people? And that could be like any type of color, like, or creed or race, or I mean, it could be Asians. It could be like anybody.
It's
like
not Asians, Nina.
There's dude, I almost got killed. I almost got killed by a crazy Asian person on a subway in Vancouver. So that, you know, things like that happen because of crazy people. I don't think that that's necessarily like, you know, a thing about race. Is that not just
No, look, it's not. It's not even so much about crazy. It's about, for the most part, poverty, right? I don't know a lot of rich black folks who go out killing people. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't.
No, I don't
really.
either.
It's a poverty issue, right? And when you're looking at a place like the hood, right? When you're looking at Chicago or like you said, Compton, or you know, places in New York, I would say like Harlem, but I heard they cleaned that place up. But no, but when, you know, I mean, when you go to an impoverished area, like people commit crime there, like a lot of crime, and there you go. You know, I mean, murder is part of that.
Yeah. Morks over on Rumble, or sorry, Matthew Hammond over on Rumble says, ask Grok what percentage of black males commit murder. Quote, adjusting for the high male proportion, black males likely account for 45 to 50% of homicide offenders. Probably some commit multiple homicides. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Said you don't want to.
But again, I guarantee you, not one of those murderers were rich. Right?
Different class for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good point, Dante. There's a lot of class differences going on too.
People like Daniel Penny had to deal with. It's people like Irina Zarutska had to deal with. And that's just the uncomfortable reality.
You've also said you don't want to live near black people. Let's take a listen to this clip.
I'm a new generation of white person. I'm not living around blacks. Sorry. You know, I want white kids, and I don't want my white kids bringing home black people to marry. It's racial for me. And call me racist. Oh, very Christian of you. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, it couldn't be clearer, really, unless you want to say that's another of your jokes. But you're basically saying, yeah, I'm a racist, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Got him. Nick Fuentes is a racist. You got him.
And with that,
you're fine with saying you're a racist?
Totally. I think everybody's racist.
I don't know.
I think
like,
everybody, if we're being honest.
That's the thing. Is there a difference between your preferences and having racism? It's you could use the argument of like, oh, well, you're transphobic if you wouldn't date a trans girl. It's like, no, I just prefer women who don't have penises.
I think it's an interesting discussion in terms of like what defines racism versus what defines discrimination, because I think it's a lot more of a discrimination is like a more of a thing than actual racism, because racism is like when you like want to kill the people of the
Racism
other
is
race.
like there's two people that are qualified to do a job, or let's say even the black guy's more qualified, but you're like, no, I'm hiring the white guy because I just would rather. That would be That's different than being like, hey, I want to live around like-minded, similar type people. That's not.
I still think I actually think that's even still what you just said describes discrimination versus racism, because I find this like racism to be something like, I hate this color of the skin of this person so much that I prefer they weren't on Earth. Like I prefer that they weren't existing.
Well,
I think that there
that's
has to be a
extreme.
distinction. Exactly. There has to be a distinction, because now racism has become such a like an umbrella term that we're no longer even kind of like, discussing what racism actually means, which is what I just described versus discrimination of like just being like, hey, I prefer not to hang out with that group of people. I prefer this company of this group of people that are more similar to me. And honestly, every person, like every race does that on this planet.
Yeah.
Middle Easterns do it, Persians do it, certainly Persians do it, Chinese people do it. Like everybody does that. Like they're like, oh, I'm just gonna hang out with my own crew because culturally we understand each other. That like they kind of discriminate against each other as well. Like, like it's like that's when the class differences comes from. So I think there has to be a distinction made here.
So here's the thing. Even if Nick is, let's say, racist, right? The thing is, I know many black folks who preferably only date only other black people, right? In fact, not only that, they'll clown you if you don't date someone who's black, right? Try bringing a white woman home.
Right.
to
Actually,
dinner, right?
That's famous. Yeah.
I mean, black women will lose their mind when a black man brings a white woman home. So I mean, it's like what
if she's in blackface?
Well, that's different.
I'm trying.
Like here's the thing: Rachel Dolezal will pass flying colors, right?
Look, I bought the darkest bronzer I could find.
But what he's saying is right. It's not right, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And every race of people is like that. I mean, Asians don't want you marrying someone that's not Asians. Are you kidding me? Jews don't want you marrying somebody not Jewish.
Asians are like that against other Asians.
I'll tell you how crazy Asians are, right? So my last girlfriend was Korean, and her parents. Hey, what's up, Anna?
What's up?
My last girlfriend was Korean. Her parents hated me, right? It never met me before, but hated me
because they knew that your penis was too much.
Well, that could be it, but no, it was all, because I wasn't Korean, basically, right? So,
yeah.
And by the way, this woman was 40 years old. Their daughter, who was single at 40, they were complaining that not that she had a boyfriend, but that I was black.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Them bitches.
Welcome, Anna, everyone. Speaking of white people, I'm just joking. I say black people. What are you? White, black?
I don't even know.
My point is like, look, Nick, he's saying a lot of crazy shit, but at the same time, every race does it. So
yeah,
is everybody racist or is?
I think we all are. That's what I'm saying. I think we're all discriminatory in our own way, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being discriminatory to some extent. Like
what you like.
We are tribal. Like the human race is tribal. We like our own tribes. Everybody has.
Sometimes it's justified when you see an Asian person driving a car. I am just saying.
Oh no! By the way, Anna, I love your shirt. Look at the gingerbreads.
Thank you.
Cute.
Oh, that's cute.
I love it.
Thank you. I'm getting in the season, the holiday season. So, what part are you at? 'Cause I was like watching the interview.
What
at times 2 speed. I got to when they first start yelling at each other.
We are at 26 minutes 19 seconds.
Okay.
So Pierce is trying to pigeonhole Nick into being a racist, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, did they get past the dad part?
Yes.
Okay.
They're past the dad part.
Okay.
Is racist. I think everybody. The only people that aren't racist or pretend not to be are white people to their detriment. Everybody else is racist.
But you spent earlier in the interview, you got aggrieved at the idea that your father was a racist. You wanted to make emphatically
because
sure
my father's.
He's not,
because my father doesn't share my same views on that.
So he's the exception to everyone's a racist.
Well, everybody's a little bit racist. You're right. So maybe everybody. The difference is you're attacking my father. You know, he can get fired from his job.
I'm not attacking your father.
You are.
No, I'm not. I don't know your father. And to be clear, I have no knowledge about him at all.
Well, then let's leave him out of it. Let's leave him out of it if you don't know him.
Hang on, Nick. You put that story into the public domain.
I think there's a bit of a mistake here by Nick as well, because he has now shown how he can get triggered about his father to his enemies. So that's something that he could, like, he's definitely triggered, and he now shown that, like, that's a button for him. So he could, like, that's something maybe he can take away from this interview. It's like, oh, that's a trigger for me, so I got to watch that.
Your show. I'm simply reminding you of what you told everybody, millions of people, about your father. If you now want to retract it, fine. If you want to say it was a joke, which is what your position was earlier, fine. But I'm allowed to put to you things you've said publicly. That's not unfair. That's not me targeting your father. You put that story about him out there.
You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
I'm asking you about a pretty shocking anecdote, which to me looked like you were saying your father made decisions about where you as a family would eat based on skin color of people who worked at these places. If you say, or use them, if you say that is not what you meant, that's fine. You can respond any way you like. But the idea I can't ask you about it without you saying I'm attacking your father is ridiculous.
Well, you are, and you know what you're doing. And there's a political culture in America where if you have the wrong views, you get fired from your job. And my father has a job. And if you go on here and say, you charge him with racism or something, and I'm put in a position where I don't look like I'm sticking to my guns if I don't say my father's a racist, you're putting him in jeopardy, and he's not here to defend himself or explain his views. And it's very low.
That's also a very valid point about the atmosphere of America right now, that you can get fired for being labeled a racist. And I to be fair, I don't even think Piers thought that through, because I think that most people don't actually think those kind of things through until, like, they're kind of a victim of it or something. Like, it's like cancel culture has to kind of happen to you before you can understand how deep it goes.
Because you don't, you're never prepared for it. You're never like,
it's very alarming, actually.
But
thank
also
you.
Nick shouldn't have put it out there, though, right? Like, that's the thing.
True.
If he didn't want his father to get in trouble, he shouldn't have said that.
If he wants to protect his family, then don't ever mention them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Slosher, thank you for the $10. Says people discriminate on all types of things. If you're diving behind or I think he's driving behind a BMW, a truck with a lift kit, or a Prius, you're going to make an assumption about those people. Same goes with race.
Hey, I drive a truck with a lift kit.
Because she's tiny.
Okay, but Prius is 100%. Fuck the Priuses. And you know what? Now also it's a Tesla. Have you guys noticed that everyone that drives a Tesla can't fucking drive? Teslas are the new Priuses, I swear. And you know who owns Teslas? Asians.
I think that about all electric cars. I'm like, I don't like electric cars. It's just, it gives me, it's a bad vibe over there. DL says, for Dawn Inen, are you talking about the girl from Cinnabon? What?
Not
I
yet.
don't understand that.
Oh, you don't know about the Cinnabon?
What happened with the Cinnabon?
You've never seen the Cinnabon video?
No.
It's pretty wild, Nina.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll get it and I'll put it in the private chat.
I haven't seen this either. Don't feel bad.
Is he really?
Did this happen recently?
Yes.
Like over the weekend, I think.
I'll get it for you. So basically, these Somalis were pissing off this worker at Cinnabon, and she dropped the N-bomb.
Oh no.
Well, she gave him a double finger, and then she dropped the N-bomb on him.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, they were harassing the fuck out of her, though.
Yeah, they were.
They were harassing her like a lot.
They were telling her that she needs to wear the hijab.
What? Oh my God. That sounds like a mess. Can we play that on YouTube though?
I don't think you can play.
Well, I mean, I think they beep out the word. Maybe I think.
Okay.
I
could be wrong.
I found the Here's this last link. I think has more to the video.
Okay. Let me.
So the first link has the video where she drops the N-bomb. The second one is like shows the Somalis that are yelling at her.
Okay, hold on. This one is which one?
So that first video,
Yeah,
that's the
right
video
there.
that went viral.
Sexualizing your body makes you a better person.
Are you recording?
But are they gonna say that? Though? I don't want to get banned on YouTube. Are they gonna say the N-word like out loud, or is it gonna be bleeped?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's gonna get bleeped, but so
I'm not risking it.
Why don't you play it and have it muted?
Okay.
And then that way you can at least kind of
captions come up.
And I don't know if this one will have captions, but you can just see from her face what's going on.
And if she says it, then I'll just yell it out.
Please don't.
My question is, why would you go to a Cinnabon and harass the worker for not wearing a hijab?
Yep.
People are saying it's bleep.
That's an American place.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she tells him to suck it.
What the fuck is wrong with you, you fucking ugly bitch?
Oh my god. She's going nuts.
Great.
Well,
you know how
this is the
pissed I'd be if I
climate
went to Cinnabon and like some foreigners came in there and were like fucking harassing me?
Oh yeah, I'd be like, who are you? Like, what country you're in?
I mean, things have happened to me, and the service industry sucks, man. Like I've had people throw like change in my face and like all sorts of crazy shit, and call me like sand N-word and all sorts of shit.
Where the fuck were you working?
I thought that was my little cat name for you, Nina.
Oh man, after 9/11, it was kind of brutal everywhere for brown people.
Yeah, that's true.
You never forgot.
Darren, thank you for $1.99. Says I'm late here. Did Piers call Nick gay yet? No, we still got ways
He
to
calls
go
him
until that
gay. Okay, I'm gonna have to go in like 5 minutes because I have my own show. But if you guys are still going when I'm done, I'll come back because this is the first time I've actually seen somebody start yelling like them back and forth. Because every interview I've seen of Nick Fuentes is like softballs or it's people talking to him. And I'm like, let this crazy fag go crazy, man.
Yeah, he does. Like he does. It gets better and better as the stream goes on. John Edgar, thank you for says for 14 months. A member says Nina, Chrissy, Verbal, and Anna. Now it's a party. Apparently she's leaving us soon. But
And
thank
in
you.
5 minutes, I got 5 minutes.
She got 5 minutes. Let's get through some of these.
Oh, Nina, I sent your package to your mom.
Oh, thank you, Anna. That's so
You're welcome.
sweet. I can't wait to see it. Okay, here we go.
And I think you know exactly what you're doing, and people can see what you're doing. I'll defend my views, and I think that so let's leave him out of it. Let's just not talk about my father because my father isn't here. I'm here.
Okay, well, then do you accept that you shouldn't talk? Okay,
listen,
that's fine. But then do you accept you shouldn't talk about your father on your show?
Not absolutely.
So
not.
it's fine for you to put a story out there which would make most people who listen to that story or watched it at the time on your show conclude that he was racist. It's fine for you to do that. But if I then ask you about it, I'm the one who's being unfair and I've crossed a line. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you're being malicious.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Listen, people are watching this live. They can draw their own conclusions about whether what I just
And they
did.
will.
Yeah, and I'm sure afterwards, by the way, you'll say, he ambushed me with your own words.
Whoa.
With your own words.
That's a little presumptuous. I'm not going to say it's an ambush, but I think that's a low blow. I think you know what you're doing, and that's fine. You're a tabloid journalist. I expected that ambush because I knew it would be like this. And people will see what you're doing, and I think they'll say it's low. But as far as you want to talk about racism,
I do.
Let's talk about racism.
Okay,
let's leave my dad out of it.
Look, you've admitted you're a racist.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Own it.
Okay, that's fine. You're perfectly entitled in a free democratic society to stare down the barrel of his camera and tell me you're a racist. People can judge. Many people who have assumed that you're racist will now have heard it from your own lips.
He's doing this guy.
That's the point.
Like a legacy media boomer, like liberal, and this is only going to impress people like him, people who watch MSNBC all the time, which is such a small percentage of the population now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of showing though. This is why I like this interview because it's really showing the divide between this generation and the other generation, and why it is that more and more of the younger generation are just flocking towards Nick Fuentes versus whatever the fuck Pierce has got going on, because this whole, especially like this next segment that they're about to go into, kind of really solidifies that, because they're like they're just, people are just sick of it. They're over the labels. They're over, especially the younger crowd. They're just over being like labeled anti-Semitic and racist and this and that. It's just it's enough. People have had enough.
The Zoomers listen to this. They go, okay, yeah, okay, he's racist. Just like I've been called a racist. Just like all my friends have been called racist. It's like everyone's tired of the term racist. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Yet Piers is like, this is what he has to do his gotcha on. It's like, it shows how kind of out of touch and how in a bubble he is.
He should really just play like the "I love Hitler" clips that Nick has said. Like, if you want to really get a stick it to him, I'm like, maybe those.
Oh, he's gonna get there, Anna. He's gonna get there. Oh, don't worry. That's all. Yeah, it's coming.
This interview is to go over the things you said, which have led people to reach conclusions about you, and to ascertain whether those conclusions are fair and reasonable or not. That's it. I want to play you another clip. This is what you talk about why white people are justified in being racist.
I love that he does that. Like, it's like, let's go. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go, Artie.
Like, all right.
Let's take a listen to this.
First, white people are every single bit justified in being racist. Every single bit justified, to the extent that that means going out of your way to avoid black people when you see them.
Oh my God.
Can you stand by
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So white people should go out of their way to avoid black people when they see them.
Absolutely. They would be wise.
Why?
Because it's a lose-lose proposition. If you're Irina Zarutska and you don't walk the other way, you get stabbed to death and you die. If you're somebody else and you walk on the subway and you stand near a black person or something, maybe it's fine. It's a lose-lose proposition. So no, I think that white people have been beaten into submission, that we're afraid to tell the truth about it. And the truth is that when you go into these major cities like New York or Chicago, I believe she was in North Carolina, there is a menace, which is young, black, adolescent men. They're extremely violent. And we have been told that we have to pretend like they are every other person. We have to be colorblind to that. And we're supposed to go and be in the midst of all this danger. And I think that at this point, it's gotten out of control. You look at the BLM movement, they said that the reason that black people, are violent, or the reason there's crime, is because of police brutality, or redlining, or all these other things. They said we need to get rid of the police. We need to defund them. And a lot of cities did. A lot of cities like Chicago, for example, the police changed the rules of engagement. They don't chase them. It's not a felony if you steal a certain amount of merchandise. They won't chase them on foot. And now the city's totally up for grabs. And now whether you're in the gold.
Yeah, in some of those places that's like that, it's become complete anarchy. Like it's absolute like lawlessness. That kind of stuff actually is fascinating in a way. But I gotta say, like I'm again, it's hard to say this, like, but I kind of get where Nick is coming from. Especially like as a female, like when you see sketchy people around, you just got to go as far away from that sketchy person as possible. I've seen women that are sketchy as shit that I like just stay the fuck away from, because I'm like, oh, that person's clearly high. That person's clearly a crackhead. There's something going on. I don't know if they're drunk or if they're whatever. Like, there's something going on. I got to stay away from that. It's like, it's a survival mechanism. So,
well, yeah, because there's no repercussions now, right? I mean, look at California. Look what Gavin Newsom's done. I mean, it's crime is pretty much legalized in California right now. Yeah. Right. And so I get what he's saying. I mean, these people can do whatever they want to you, and there's no repercussions whatsoever.
Yeah, and they've got these and he brings up Irina, which is a great example, because you had this man be released, catch and release 14 times. This guy. I mean, I was reading the other day, there was some pedophile that got released after he, raped a little boy. And I was like, these people are just getting released. This is kind of insane.
It's becoming more and more common. And these judges need to get arrested for letting them out. But that's another story.
I mean, Verbalet's talking about criminal, putting criminals in prison. I think that should be something that, a criminality that should be investigated. Judges who release criminals out into the wild and then are responsible for people being murdered or worse, because some of them get bad things happen to them before they get murdered. So those things, these judges need to be put away. They need to see consequences.
And it's all politics. They're just doing it to curry favor with other Democrats. Like they're not actually interested in the crime going
down.
But
meanwhile, the state burns, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly. That's what it is. A pattern recognition. That's exactly what it is. You recognize something. You're like, maybe I'll stay the fuck away from that part because I don't want something bad to happen to me.
Gold Coast, or whether you're on the Mag Mile, or you're in the worst neighborhoods in the city, you might get shot, you might get mugged, someone might run up on you. And I tell my followers, it is better to be perceived as racist or racist and walk the other way and maybe keep your life than to say, I'm a good anti-racist. I don't mind that this person's making me uncomfortable. Maybe he's looking a little froggy. I'm going to.
Anna had to leave, you guys. Make sure you check out her channel if we're done before if we're done before she comes back, we will. I'll just raid her channel. So of course, check out Anna, that Star Wars girl. Thanks for stopping by, Anna. Here we go.
Sit down because I'm a good person and get stabbed, mugged, whatever. And by the way, this is a strategy. They call it the friendly stranger. There's a crew of them. They do this in Chicago. They stand outside bars, black people. They approach strangers. It's a robbery crew, and they pretend to be a friendly stranger, and then they mug them.
I will say this is definitely a criminal thing. This is not just a black criminal thing. This is here in Mexico, this happens all the time, especially to like tourists. So it's the idea is to for psychopaths to take care of or basically take advantage of unsuspecting people by pretending to be kind and nice and lost or whatever, and then lure them into this false sense of security, and then do the criminal deed and rob them or whatever. So this has been done it's been done for so long. This is just a criminality thing. I don't think necessarily it's a black thing, but again, like what you said, Dante, this has to do with the class differences, and unfortunately, the black population happens to be on a different class.
What he's saying is, again, it's not wrong, right? Like there's a term, and I don't think I can say it on your show, but there's a term called YN, right?
Wait, you're black. You can't say it?
Well, look, Nina, I can say a lot of shit, but here's the thing.
Wait, put it in the private chat so I know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, look, there's a term called YN. It stands for young N-words.
Okay.
Right? And these young kids, like you said,
young nationalists.
Yeah, there you go. You said they have these takeovers, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what these guys are. That's what they call themselves. And even people within the community don't want to deal with them, man. Like I remember Ice-T posting on X that even with his rep, he won't go into the hood anymore. Because
they're dangerous.
Because what's the point?
Yeah.
There's no benefit of it for us. I mean,
that's crazy. E-Wing, thank you for the $4.99. Says she should have told them she was the captain now. Wait. I missed that one.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
the Cinnabon person, Nina.
Oh, the Cinnabon person.
Yeah.
That's funny. Darren for $1.99 says black people like Cinnabon.
We do, man. Cinnabon's delicious. What are you talking about?
Cinnabon's so good.
It's so good, especially when it's warm and melting in your mouth.
I haven't had Cinnabon in so long. I could go for a Cinnabon right now. Matthew Hammond over on Rumble says, would Nick be okay if his sister brought home a white Sammy Sosa?
Wait, what?
White Sammy Sosa.
That is oddly specific.
I don't know who Sammy Sosa is. Who's Sammy Sosa?
He's a baseball player. A Dominican baseball player.
Dominican man. Oh, what the hell? Wait, hang on, because we gotta share this. Because these two are different people. This is black, and this is.
Oh no! He had his skin lightened. I forgot. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he got the Michael Jackson treatment.
Yeah, Michael Jackson did.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I totally forgot he did that.
Oh boy.
Damn.
Okay.
That is so weird to me, man. Like I can imagine how I would look if I were white,
He does his penis too.
Oh my god. I don't know.
No, Chrissy, that's the only thing that's still black. His whole body is white.
Butthole too? No, leave that. I want to remember where I came from.
No, even better. Only his balls are black. Right? Everything else is white.
He's been blackballed.
He's like a freaking Dalmatian down there. Oh my God. Okay. Let's keep going with this.
And stupid white people say, "Oh, hi, yeah, nice to meet you." You know, they grin, they laugh, they put up with the nonsense, and then they get mugged, or worse. Sometimes they get executed. And so, as a white person,
how do you feel about mass?
I think they're bad.
Who do you think commits the
What kind of questions is that? Like, how do you feel about mass shootings in school? Actually, I'm in favor of it. Like,
right.
what do you
I'm actually
what is that? Like, what kind of answer is he gonna give? I don't know. It's bad.
That was a goofy question. Honestly.
That was stupid. The way he phrased that question was retarded.
vast majority of the mass shootings?
I'm sure
in
it's
schools?
white people.
Right. So how do you feel about that?
I think that white people do more antisocial violence. I think black people participate in more gang violence. I think that's a difference.
What's the difference to the victims?
There's no difference to the victim, but it's a different kind of crime. And it's a different proportion also. Do you know what percentage of white people are school shooters?
I know that the vast majority of mass shootings in schools in America this century were perpetrated by young white men. And
what proportion?
I'm curious. I'm curious whether your advice would be to people who have kids in these schools.
Is my mic working?
Should they avoid white people at school? Should people with the kids at school avoid young white men at school?
No.
Okay.
Do you know what per capita means? Do you know proportionality? There are more black people.
I will say this. I would, if I was in a school, I would definitely stay the fuck away from that weirdo kid that's wearing the freaking
stay away from
trench coat
who seems like a school shooter.
The guy that's got like freaking, he's doing like devil worship and shit on his fucking notebook.
I would actually say, like, try not to make an enemy of that kid. Like, don't go out of your way to bully someone who seems like a school shooter. Like, that's what I would tell a child or a niece or a nephew. I'd be like,
great point, Chrissy. Actually, like,
not to bully is because you don't want to be on that that top 10 list.
Right. Don't bully them, but be friendly. But like, obviously, you want to stay away from them because they're clearly like they're mentally ill or like something's going on, right? But okay, Steph, you know what? Maybe my advice is shit. Go make friends with them.
Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not.
Oh my God.
There's one thing I've learned from that Pearl Jam video, Jeremy, is don't fuck with the weird kids, man.
You really don't want to fuck with the weird kids.
Because they'll act out.
It's true, but Chrissy's also right. Like, don't bully them because then you'll be on the list. You don't want to be on the list. It's not Santa's nice list. It's not going to be good. Ewing, thank you for the $9.99. He says, I think crime in our cities is done purposefully. From the chaos comes a new order: digital ID, digital currency, track and trace, minority report. They come from a solution to the problem that they create. Damn, Ewig, you're right on this, man. I completely agree with you.
Yep.
I really do. Wow. You freaking nailed that.
I mean, we see it happening with the UK right now, right? I mean, they're trying to enforce a policy that you can't use cash anymore over there. Right. Like you have to use digital.
I mean, cash is going to be gone in just a little while. Like,
yeah, but they're trying to make it illegal to use it.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Somebody yes. I agree with this. Stereotypes are not bad. I think stereotypes are, based off something. I don't think they're bad either. And I think they can be funny.
Proportionally, that engage in violent crime or are involved in gangs, especially in these major cities, than there are white people that are school shooters compared to the entire white population. And everybody understands that.
Two-thirds of mass shootings at school perpetrated by white people.
But what proportion of white men commit school shootings? That's a question.
I've just told you. It's 60-65% of school shootings by white people.
You're telling me what proportion of school shootings are committed by white people. I'm saying what proportion of white people have committed school shootings. Are you playing dumb or are you just not that smart?
What's the difference to the children lying dead on the ground?
See, now you want to jump on the victims. The difference is you're asking, would you fear white people or black people. And that's the difference. The
No,
difference is
what I'm saying to you is by
probability.
your logic, if we now have agreed that the vast majority of mass shootings in schools are committed by white people and predominantly young white men, then presumably your advice.
Wait, are we counting trans men as part of these young white men? Because
Probably.
a lot of these school shootings have been happening by biological women. Like they're biological women that get put on these hormones and then they go crazy and then they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go shoot up the school. So is that like, I don't know if this statistic is gonna work out with that. But I mean, sure, they're white, but
Neither trans men are men.
Are they? Okay, sorry.
This would be to avoid young white men because they perpetrate these massacres. But it won't be because they're white, right?
So are you playing dumb or are you actually dumb?
Maybe
it's
I'm
about
dumb.
proportionality.
Maybe I'm dumb.
You are because you're, well, I don't think you are dumb. I think you're smart actually, but you're deliberately avoiding per capita. And everybody knows that's the difference. What proportion of white men are school shooters? It's probably 0.00.
No, Spike. I mean the opposite way. It's like women that want to be men and they're transitioning to become men and then they go crazy because of all the hormones. And then they commit school shootings.
0.000.
They can't handle
1%. What proportion of black men have committed violence?
Sorry?
They can't handle this testosterone.
Yeah, it's like a lot. Hormones are crazy, man.
Their bodies weren't designed for it.
Nope.
Correct.
Violent crimes. It's probably like 5%. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's very high. And I would add to that, even as it concerns schools. Why do you think parents pay a super high property tax to live in a school district where there's white people? Because they know that if they go to the black school, it's going to be the Bloods and the Crips. It's going to be gangs. It's going to be, you talk about school shootings.
Okay, I'll be honest. I actually didn't know that people pay a higher property tax to go to like a whiter neighborhood. Like I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Well, it depends on the neighborhood, your acreage, your like everything. Yeah.
Nobody talks about all the school shootings that are committed by gangbangers in and around the school and all the other violence that's associated with that. I mean, these schools in the south side of Chicago, it's just not.
I have an answer for you, Nick. So the proportion of the population who carry out mass shootings is actually the same for black and white.
For white people, the proportion of the proportion
again,
of the population. Are you hearing it? No.
I think the trouble with your statistics is a lot of them don't bear much scrutiny. We have a bunch of fact checkers checking all this in real time because you do have a tendency to just come out with a lot of old baloney. And when you say,
okay,
well, it's true. And when you're confronted with reality,
figure?
you don't like it.
What's the figure? What proportion of white people have committed school shootings? With white people as the denominator and white people that have committed school shootings as the numerator, what's that percentage?
For both black and whites, the proportion of the population who carry out mass shootings generally is about the same.
No. Tell me the number, and then
the only focus of your attention is the black shootings, the black crime. You don't want to live around black people. You want to avoid black people. You don't want interracial marriages or relationships that may produce black people. And yet, when I point out to you that there are many parts of crime in America where actually there's a majority of white people that perpetrate them, you don't care. You don't have any interest in that. It doesn't exercise your mind. Maybe
no one's buying this. This argument lost. No one is buying this. Everybody understands per capita, and people can even see what you race ahead and say, well, we're comparing the proportion of white and black school shooters. I said, no, compare the proportion of school shooters that are white versus violent criminals that are black, because that was the basis of the monologue, is that you're very likely, if you encounter black people or a young black man in the city, that you're going to be the victim of a violent crime, of a robbery, a mugging, a car theft, a carjacking, or a murder. That's the difference, and it's about proportionality. And everybody sees past that because we all live in reality. You want to talk about product of your environment. People that live in New York, Chicago, LA, we live in reality. We live in this environment and we see what it's like. And the threat, the danger in terms of probability it's not even comparable. And I would say this to your point. If you're in a high school and truly, if you see a white person who looks like a little autistic, he's got the SSRI stare and he reaches for a backpack, people joke and say, run. Similarly, if you see a jalopy pulling up with a bunch of black people in it and they got their pants around the ankles, you're going to run also. And I'm saying the same thing. The difference is the latter happens much more often. It's much more common. In Chicago, there's like 10,000 carjackings and car thefts every day. It's in the thousands. It happens all.
That's insane. Like, I don't know how people live in Chicago. I say that living in Mexico. you know, like one of the worries a lot of people have, like especially like I mean I was worried about it when I was moving here, like, you know, oh my god, aren't you scared of the cartels? And I'm like, you know, since I've lived here, I could tell you that the stuff that Nick is saying about Chicago does not happen here. Like it's not as bad as what's going on over there. So I'm kind of like, it's shocking to hear some of the stuff that Nick is talking about with regards to Chicago. It's like as if it's a movie.
And it's like if it's where he's from, it's gonna take a lot for him to want to move out of there, you know, especially if he's got family.
Yeah, of course. TMF Squid for 5 says, very true. My dad moved us from Crime Central North County, St. Louis to what? How do you say that? St. Louis? St. Louis. St. Louis. To out of the county and into a better suburbs for exactly the reasons Nick says. Well, thank you for letting us know about that. That's really interesting. It's fascinating. The stuff he says is very fascinating. I think that's why he's so popular, because he's kind of saying it like it is, and people are resonating with that.
Well, yeah, and there's a reason why when people do come into money, they leave the environment that they're in because they can afford better now.
Yep, it's true. DL, thank you for the $2 over on Rumble, says, I agree 100% with Dante. Trans women are men. Like Robert Ryan White, aka Blair White, is a man. I don't care what he calls himself. His DNA will still say he's a man. I think he actually says that. Like he says that he's a biological male, kind of like yes, Spock Angel, exactly. That's who I was thinking of. Says the same thing. Like he's a trans man, and he says that he will always be a biological female. He was born female.
And Buck also acknowledges mental illness or dysphoria as part of the picture.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a big deal. Sorry about this terrible pause face, Nick Fuentes.
It's a drunk face. All the time. How many mass shootings committed by autistic SSRI white people? I don't even know. I mean, it's probably in the single digits in the last decade in the city. That's the difference, and everybody knows that. But you're really just trying to carry water for liberal ideology. It's an ideological position.
No, I'm really not. I can absolutely say yes. There is way too much black on black crime, for example, involving guns in Chicago.
Black on white.
You know what, Spike? I will say that is a fair statement, because I am not in Guadalajara or Mexico City or like the north of Mexico, which is horrible. Yeah, there's definitely places in Mexico that are not good places. You're right. That's a fair point.
Also, yes, but there is way too much gun violence in Chicago. Right? I mean, it's indisputable. I've got no problem saying that. The difference is I don't then lead myself into a thought process where I have to avoid all black people in case they shoot me. And you've already conceded that you are a racist. So when people hear you then say, I don't want to be living anywhere near black people, they already have heard you say, I'm a racist. So they assume you're doing that because of people's skin color. I don't think you would probably dispute that, right?
Well, you're separating two different things. The monologue, when I said I don't want to live around black people, that was after Irina Zarutska got shot. And it's true. I mean, they are a largely in this city, in Chicago, the South Side, the West Side, huge criminal population. And I don't want to live anywhere near it. And I do. I want to live in a white neighborhood. I think that that's extremely desirable. And I think even black people.
Again, Nick, you're perfectly entitled to that view. But when you have obviously prefaced all this by saying, I am a racist, unashamedly, then people will assume that all your thought processes about all of these issues are driven by an aversion to people based on their skin color, which is the purest personification of racism.
Well, it's not an aversion. I would say it's the opposite.
And this is why I say, like, a lot of people are having a problem with the actual definition of racism versus discrimination, because what essentially Nick is talking about is discrimination, not racism, because he doesn't care about the color of the skin. The color of the skin is not really the outlier. It's the idea that these people he's discriminating against the whole, like, them being majority criminal or like that criminal element. He's not saying, oh, just because that guy looks different than me, I don't want to be near him. It's
everything. All of his opinions are based on like his life, his lived experiences, or just news or statistics,
like logical, things that you would be led to if you're aware of your surroundings, kind of thing.
I like my own people. My own people are familiar to me. And I think that's true across the board. I think that people seek out other people that are like themselves, and every other group does this, whether it's blacks, Hispanics, Asians. I get a lot of attacks when I talk about that I'm against interracial marriage. And what's funny is that every other group is against interracial or interethnic marriage. Jews,
you're the
Chinese,
product of an interracial marriage.
Yeah, I mean, that's debatable.
Not
Let's say
really.
for the sake of
Not
argument,
really.
sure.
No, you're the product of an interracial marriage, and your father is part Mexican. You're literally,
for the sake of argument,
the very person you just told me you want to avoid.
What race is Hispanic? Is that a race?
Well, what do you think it is?
I'm asking you, what race is Hispanic?
Hispanic, of course it's a race. It's called Hispanic.
It's a mix between two races. It's a mix between indigenous Americans
and Europeans.
Though,
is it? It's not white.
Well, you're more of a racial purist than me. You got like
not
a
really. You just keep saying you only want to live in a white neighborhood, but you're literally from a mixed race background yourself. You've literally got Mexican blood.
I know, and I live in a non-white neighborhood too. I'm trying to get out of here, though. But I'm trying to get out. But here's the thing:
do you have any?
Well, what kind of Mexican is he, Piers? Is he like a Mayan Mexican, like a pure native Mayan Mexican, or is he a Spaniard? Like, are his ancestors Spanish Inquisition, like people who came from Spain that were white Mexicans? Like,
there's people who live in Mexico who have like blue eyes and blonde hair. Like, what is he talking about?
Yes, because that's what I'm talking about. Because they're from the Spaniards, like they're the Spanish Inquisition people that came over from Spain versus the natives that lived here. That I live among the there's people, the Mayan people here that are like tiny, and they're like they're big. They look very different than regular Mexican people, and most of the Mexican people are white and they look like Nick Fuentes, like they really do. And you're like, okay, that's a Spanish Mexican person, and there's the Mayan Mexican person. So there is a difference. There's definitely a difference.
Non-white. Do you have any non-white friends? Genuine question.
Most of my friends are non-white. Most of my friends are not, and non-white people love my show.
How many are black? How many of your friends are black?
Many of them, like at least a dozen.
Wow.
Yay being.
What are we doing the black friend thing again? Come on.
Hey, look at his thumb.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Oh, it might be the angle.
Bend that way? No.
Oh, that's weird.
My thumb doesn't do that. Even if I do this, it bends.
He's going.
He might have one of those. What do they call it? In the
double jointed.
Oh my god! Look at your crazy ass thumb, Nina.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's wild, man.
I don't know. Is that weird?
A little bit.
You have like a broken knuckle or what?
A little bit of a Fuentes thumb.
I got a Fuentes. See, it's because I'm Aryan.
One who you know, Sneeko being another who you also know.
Yeah. So how do they feel when you say you just want to be away from?
Sneeko's not black?
I mean, he might have like a little in him, but like he's mixed with a few different things. He's not like black. You know what I mean? He's not even half black. He's black he's like maybe a quarter black.
Quarter black.
He's like Garrett.
Oh my god, he's like quarter Sneeko. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. Zorro was all Irish. Oh my god.
Any black people, walk away from them.
Well, you know what Ye told me? I'll tell you verbatim what he said. That it doesn't come from a place of, and you use the word aversion. That's the first thing I'll actually dispute.
Okay.
It's not an aversion on the basis of skin color, because that would seem to suggest it's like a stubborn, irrational bigotry. I don't consider myself a bigot. I consider myself a racial realist. I'm realistic about how the races are, and I speak provocatively about it. And I speak provocatively about our tribalistic instincts and tendencies as human beings. And I'm not a liberal ideologue that says that over time and with enough education, we're all going to see this great brotherhood where we're colorblind and everybody's the same. I don't think that's ever going away. I think that race is real. It's not just skin deep. It matters to us and it matters to each other. And black people know that, and Hispanics know that, and Asians know that, and people like me that have partial Mexican ancestry, we know that too. Mm-hmm. And I think on that basis, we can have mutual respect and understanding, not aversion based on skin color.
The reason I use the word aversion is you literally said that you should walk the other way if you see black people. That is an aversion to black people based on their skin color.
No, that's called economy of information. That's economy of information. That's safety. And I said in the same monologue, if you watch it, it's like, I feel sorry. The problem is
it's really weird when you kind of agree with somebody like this, because this is what happens when you've lived a life too. Mm-hmm. I tell a lot of people when they come here, and I'm like, listen, like, you know, you got to watch out. There's a lot of criminals here. They do weird things. Like I just explained to you guys, they do that criminal element stuff, like and you got to watch out. You got to be aware. And sometimes that means that you got to discriminate. Like it's unfortunate, but it's true. Because what's the alternative? Then you're going to get mugged. You're going to get killed, like worse, you know, like bad things is going to happen to you. Best things will happen to you is like, oh, somebody thinks you're racist. Like who fucking gives a shit? I kind of get where he's coming from with that.
Like the 10 seconds. I don't know if you watched the whole show, but in that monologue, I said, most black people are not violent or criminals. I said, and it's unfortunate that we're going to offend them when we turn and walk the other way. I said, but the problem is we don't know. We can't tell. And someone like Irina Zarutska, she sat down in front of a black man with her headphones in and wasn't paying attention because she was being a good liberal and said, I'm not uncomfortable by this. I'm progressive. Then she got stabbed in the neck. And I said, it's unfortunate that you would have to sit behind the black man to be safe. And if he's not violent or schizophrenic, he might be offended by that. I said, but I would rather offend him than die.
How many deranged white men have committed atrocious acts of murder in the last 10 years in America?
Proportionally, far fewer.
Far fewer. How many? Do you know how many?
You have a research team. You pull it up.
You're very big. You're obviously extremely exercised by that one story, which was horrific for the record. Absolutely horrific and should never have happened. The person who perpetrated that evil act had a string of previous offenses and should have been picked up more, and it should have been amplified more. I completely concur with all of that. But I just suspect you have no idea how many white people have committed similar crimes, do you?
No, because I know it's far fewer from experience. Because it's like you said. Well, and hang on. And I would add to that, you know, Irina Zarutska wasn't the first one. That was also after Austin Metcalf was killed in Texas.
Sure.
After
Carmelo
Carmelo
Anthony
Anthony
times has it
stabbed
been
him in the
perpetrated
neck.
by white people?
Well, hang on. Let me finish my point.
But you're
And then
implying
not
that white
only
people don't do this. And my point to you, Nick Fuentes, is of
Oh,
course,
I never said white people don't do it.
deranged white people commit heinous acts.
I wonder what happened with that Austin Metcalf guy. Do you guys know? Like, has that gone
It just
to court yet?
disappeared.
It's gone, right?
Well, they said the trial is next year.
Wow.
2026.
Like we're just all waiting for that to come around. Okay. What was that? What was that, Chrissy? You were saying something?
I don't like how he said heinous.
Oh boy.
But you don't either
No
know.
disagreement.
You neither know nor care, or maybe both. Maybe you do know and don't care. You only seem to be focused on black people who commit crimes. And again, if you hadn't prefaced the whole debate about racism by openly conceding you are a racist, I could read other connotations into what you've been saying. But once you've said, I'm a racist, and then you only talk about black crime, I think people can watch this and they can say, yeah, he's a racist. And everything that he says about crime is driven through the prism of being a racist who judges people according to their skin color.
Well, it's funny because it's quite on the contrary. And I said this in a similar monologue. You know, the problem is not that I wake up and I walk down the street and I see someone that doesn't look like me and it makes me angry. The problem is there's a pattern of behavior, which we've all seen. Blacks in America have become narcissistic, and they become narcissistic because they've been told they're victims of racism. They're victims of slavery. They've been told, really, there's no accountability. If they're rude, if they're inconsiderate, if they're criminal, they are told that they have no agency for their actions. They're being told, if you act in this way, it's because the white man made you that way. It's because the system's rigged against you. And so we have been telling black people this for a generation, and now there's no rules. Now they go, and what we hate to see as decent people, not even as white people, but decent people, even black people too, what we hate to see is rudeness, obnoxiousness, inconsideration, criminality, violence. And that's that pattern of behavior that we see all over social media.
I'm going to say that I would say this is a generational thing. I think the Zoomer generation is just like that, rude, abhorrent, like no consequences. This is the participation trophy generation. This has nothing to do with the black people. This is like the white people are like that too. Everybody's like that now. I think this is a generational thing that he's kind of like maybe like putting the like black people in that box a little bit too much, but unfortunately this is definitely, I think, certainly a generation of people that are like this, like not
also
consequences.
when you remove the consequence of the consequences of crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get this generation.
Yeah,
you know what? Because they're not afraid of anything. They're not afraid of going to jail because they're not going to go to jail.
But it's like what are we even talking about here? Because we just talked about, for example, the whole idea of what happened with let's say even the Epstein trials or the Epstein list or like COVID. Nobody, and I mean nobody in the government even is getting any sort of consequences when they make terrible decisions. What happened to some of the bad decisions that were made in LA by that caused that fire to happen and to the extent that it happened? Did anybody see any consequences? No. Nobody's seeing any consequences.
The lesbian fire chiefs got fired. So
oh, maybe that happened. But like
because they were thrown under the bus by Karen Bass.
Yeah, and then but Karen Bass didn't see any consequences, or like anybody else, Gavin Newsom, nobody, like
nope.
None of the higher up see any sort of consequences. And I think this is why this generation's become what it's become, because like literally this has become a participation trophy. Nobody's seeing any sorts of consequences ever, pretty much, unless they want to make an example of you, which they did to Nick Fuentes of all people, right? Like they've made an example of him, banned him across everywhere, all this other stuff. And for what? Because he basically said a bunch of stuff that a lot of people found truthful. That's the weird part.
So just to be clear, you don't like black people who play the victim and are rude. Is that your position?
I don't like that pattern of behavior.
And who are narcissists?
I see where this is going.
Yeah, you're ahead of me.
Turn this around
Again, to be fair to like everybody else, Nick Fuentes, I feel like Nick Fuentes is also the victim of becoming the victim of the whole victim mentality. Nick Fuentes is the best at playing it now. Like he's like, oh, I'm a victim. Everybody did this to me. Like, I was canceled across everywhere, blah, blah, blah. Constantly playing on that. It's like, feel sorry for me. I was a canceled guy, blah, blah, blah. So like, can he see why maybe black people or Jewish people or whoever people would want to kind of play in on that victim mentality? Because he does it. He does it all the time. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed it or not.
Well, yeah, there's currency in being a victim, right? Like
yeah.
There's social currency. There's even financial currency for being a victim. So yeah, why not? And you know what's funny about being a victim? It's easy.
Yeah, so
right?
easy.
It's so easy to be a victim.
So it's like, oh, okay, like all this stuff happened to me. Feel sorry for me. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I had a bad childhood. I said very victim, right?
So what?
I said I had a bad childhood, therefore I can do whatever I want.
Feel sorry for me, guys.
Black friends, have you got? You said
I am kind of black, aren't I?
No, not that. You said, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying your choice of black friend is Ye, who is arguably the number one black victimhood narcissist in America. Do you understand the problem? So he's your friend. He's one of the very few black people you want to be associated with, but he's the epitome of what you just said you abhor about narcissistic black people.
I disagree. I disagree with you, and I'll tell you why. Because Ye, if you've ever met him in real life,
I have. Yeah.
Okay, well, then he's nothing but polite, considerate.
That seems very rude to me the last two times I interviewed him. He's a supreme narcissist, and he's also...
You keep interrupting me. You're very rude. Are you black?
Because you're being rude. I apologize.
I'm giving you a hard time, but I do want to finish my point. I do want to finish my point about Ye. He is a guy who, when I was with him, wanted to make sure that everybody was heard. Everybody felt included. He's actually a very soft-spoken guy, very polite. And by the way, not violent. When you look at all the rappers that are in the music game, many of them, especially from Chicago, drill rap, they're talking about killing people, shooting people, they gangbang. He notably, if you know about him, he got his start because he was a nerd. He wore a backpack and a polo, and he wasn't a gangbanger. He rapped about his feelings and girls and his dreams and his ambitions. So no, and by the way, he would tell me all the time, he doesn't even feel black. They make him feel not black because he doesn't do those things, because he's soft-spoken, because he's artistic, because he's a bit of a nerd or likes fashion. So I would disagree. He's actually not like that at all.
Okay. He's also a Hitler-loving anti-Semite. And we're going to take a little commercial break here. And we're going to come back and talk about anti-Semitism and your...
Oh my God, they're going to take a commercial break and then come back and talk about anti-Semitism. This Spellbreaker, a.k.a. Demogenai, thank you for being here for $5. Says this dude is generalizing way too much. The fact is social media X specifically magnifies knuckleheads doing nonsense. We're not a monolith. Yeah, I think X drives a lot of that kind of discussion. Demogenai, I think you're right on that. And having said that, we do have over 600 people, 619 people watching across all 3 platforms. You guys, make sure you smash the like button, stream. Woo! Yes, thank you. But it has been 2 hours and 30 minutes, and we got to basically about halfway of this interview. Do you guys want to keep going? Chrissy, are you okay to stay for a little bit
Yeah,
more?
I could stay a little. I could stay like 20 minutes more.
Yeah, same.
Okay, cool. Let me fast forward to the next part here. Okay, here we go.
And the reason that we are in truth about
Powered by his guild member stream.
Here we go.
Okay, back with Nick Fuentes. Let's turn to anti-Semitism. In your interview with Stephen Crowder last week, you answered emphatically that you don't hate all Jews. Is that correct? That's your position?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to play you this clip.
Well, I don't hate any Jews. Let me just amend that. I don't hate any Jews.
Okay. Let's play this clip.
The reason I've had it is because my opposition to world Jewry and Israel is rooted in absolute, uncontestable fact.
World Jewry. Actually, he's going to explain this. This is a true thing. This is actually a real thing that they talk about. He's going to explain that.
I forget. I hate when I leave the house and I forget to put on any jewelry.
I know, me too. Matthew Hammond over on Rumble says that the disrespect we are seeing is Gen X trying to be friends with their children and their friends. Outside of the South, they are no longer required to say yes, sir, no, sir, and yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. This is what I'm talking about. The generation has changed, Matthew Hammond. You're right. It's everybody. It's everybody. Like earlier when he's talking about, back in the day, we would like look over across the way and see the Black family like sitting there in grace. When was the last time you saw any white families doing that? I can't remember the last time anybody sat around a table said grace.
Nobody dresses up for the airplane anymore.
Exactly. When was the last time you saw somebody wear like a suit and tie to like
sweatpants to church?
I'm telling you, man, this is it's changed out there.
We have the truth on our side. That's why we're winning. Because we are telling the truth about the historical antagonism between Jews and Europeans, between Jews and Christians. The theological, historical, racial, cultural, and political antagonisms between organized Jewry and the Christians, organized Jewry and Europeans. And the reason that we are winning that argument is because it's real, it's true. I can prove it. I can show you. I can name the names. I can show you the paper trail, the money. That is why we're winning. That is why all of this is raising the consciousness.
When you say you have this opposition to world Jewry, it's one thing to criticize, for example, the Israeli government over what's been doing in Gaza. I've done that myself. When you talk about world Jewry, I presume you're talking about the 15 million Jews in the world, and you are opposed to them. How does that square with your position that you don't hate any Jews?
Okay.
Well, do you take issue with my use of the term world Jewry?
Well, what do you mean by that?
Did you want to say something, Chrissy?
He's just setting him up. He's not trying to understand his point. He's like, by world Jewry, you mean all the Jewish people, don't you? And it's like, that's even a stupid person knows that's not what he's saying. Even like, he's talking about the elites. He's talking about globalization.
Well, he's gonna actually explain. So I'm glad actually that he said, like, what do you mean by that? Like that's actually a good thing. Like let him explain in his own words what he means when he says world Jewry.
Wait, is that where Jewry came from? The Jews? Like is that what is that how we got jewelry?
No, I mean I don't know, but no, it's Jewry, not jewel.
Oh, jewelry. Got it.
Yeah, Jewry. There's no L in it.
Or do you take issue with it? Do you have a problem with that?
Clarify what you mean by it.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. The gaslighting's crazy because I use that expression on my show all the time. I say organized Jewry, world Jewry. And do you know that for like 30 years, the World Jewish Congress has an annual keynote called The State of World Jewry? Barry Weiss has given it. You can look it up. It's on YouTube. She gives the State of World Jewry address.
But Nick, what do you mean by it?
I mean, you have to talk about, there's a concept of Jewish peoplehood. It's the sense that they are part of a common nationality, a common tribe, a common people. And So where they reside in Israel, the United States, or Europe, or elsewhere, they see each other above, or maybe on a different level, alongside their nationality, their state, wherever they reside. If they're in Germany, France, the United States, they see themselves as part of a transnational nation, of an international nation. The Jews in America, the Jews in Israel, they identify as Israeli or American, but they also have something in common. They identify as part of a common nation, which I would say there's a world Jewish population. It's world Jewry. And world Jewry has representatives. There is such a thing as the World Jewish Congress, where they actually elect, it's democratic, all the local Jewish organizations elect representatives.
That's true.
To represent proportionally the Jewish population in their area at the World Jewish Congress. And it's sort of like Davos. It's like the World Economic Forum, but it's exclusively for members of the Jewish nation that exists across the world. And so that's a real thing. And I didn't make that up, and that didn't come from 4chan. It's like I said in that clip, I read what they write. I read their books. I watch these speeches. I watch a speech from Barry Weiss. I pay very close attention. So that's what I mean by that. There is such a thing as it's a nation that exists across borders on a global scale. They're organized, and they have a national self-interest as that nation, as that tribe.
So if you don't hate any,
and usually they side with that tribe more than the other parts. Like, let's say if there were dual citizens, the United States, usually they prefer to be a dual, that they're the Israeli thing more than the U.S. That's why that clip went viral of Trump calling out that lady. What's her name? His main donor. That Mary Adelson, and when he was like, she prefers the Israeli side, it's true. They're usually like that.
Jews, what do you like about them?
I like a lot of things about them. I think they're funny. I think they're smart. I think that they're pretty remarkable people. And as Christians, especially as Catholics, we say they're remarkable. And this has been adjudicated in Catholic doctrine for thousands of years. We say that they're a witness people. And so we actually, there's provisions inside of Catholic doctrine that says we need to give them special protections because they were a witness to Christ's passion. So, this is why you can't clip the show. You have to watch the whole thing. I say this repeatedly in interviews. I do think they're remarkable. By definition, they're exceptional people. It's just that there is a sort of natural opposition between them and Christians because of the theology. We believe that Christ is the Messiah. They don't. They have been a minority in Christian lands for thousands of years, and they have been pushed around and expelled, and they've been persecuted and segregated. And that's why there's a lot of paranoia. There's a lot of distrust. There's maybe some sense of chauvinism among Jewish people. So there is, like I said in that clip, there is an historical antagonism between these two peoples, between Christendom and Jewry, and that has always been the case in Europe. But I don't hate them, and I think I actually sort of understand them in a weird way. I think that because I've studied a lot of their politics, I think I really kind of know them in a way, and it doesn't come from a place of hatred.
Do you have any Jewish friends?
I do. I have many.
What
yes.
is with this question about having friends of every fucking race? What is this, the YMCA?
Can't deny anything that he just said. Nick is so on point and does his research. Piers can't say, no, there is no international alliance of Jews. Oh no, they're not represented, everywhere they are. Because he can't deny any of that. So all he can say is, who's your black friend? Where's your Jew friend?
These are asinine questions.
It's so bad. It's such a bad line of question. Do you have any Jewish friends? It's like, what
he's saying something that he can't disprove and Nick can't prove. So it's like
it's
he's
annoying.
just it's a bunt. It's like it's lame.
It is
weird because you said this.
Jews and Christians have never been friends, ever. Not since Jesus Christ fought with the Pharisees. Have we ever been friends? Not since Saul was leading the charge persecuting the Christians. Not since the Roman Empire, not since the Middle Ages. Never. We've never been friends. We've never been allies. We've always been set against each other, actually. And even here in the United States, it was communist Jews who were the architects of both communism and the civil rights laws that are dispossessing white Christians of their land and civilization.
The Jews and Christians have never been friends ever, except for you and your Jewish friends.
So easy. As peoples, as nations.
Oh my God. Why ask him about his personal Jewish friends and then you're using an example of Nick is saying Jews and Christians on a wider scale haven't got
generally.
It's not even it has nothing to do with his questioning. I think Piers is all over the place and flailing and very desperate to get some kind of clip.
Yeah, and it what it feels like is that he's not coming at it from a genuine place of trying to understand this man that's sitting before him. He's coming at it from a place of like, I don't like you, and therefore I'm going to do everything in my power to make you look bad. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, so it comes across as disingenuous, and people can feel that. Like, it's a and I was rooting for Piers. Like when I watched, I was rooting for him. I was like, yes, expose this racist bastards or whatever it is. Like, and then I watched this show and I'm like, ooh, like Piers didn't do well on some of this stuff. On some of the stuff he didn't do well.
Got it. Not saying every individual Christian, and of course there have been Christians and there have been Christian converts to Judaism, Jewish converts, Christian. You're nodding your head, but you're asking this. I'm saying as peoples.
No, I hear you. As a Roman, I'm a Catholic like you, and I have many Jewish friends. I'm just trying to compute what you're trying to say, which is Jews and Christians have never been friends ever. And I'm like, well, you have Jewish friends, I have Jewish friends. We're both Catholics, therefore we're Christians. It doesn't really quite add up.
Yeah, but you're playing dumb there, Piers, and like anyone that has ever been involved in any sort of religious entity, like for example, like, you know, I was born in Iran, so obviously you guys know, like, if you're born in Iran, you're automatically a Muslim over there. So technically I was like assigned Muslim at birth. So when I went to, like, you know, religious school over there, even though they taught us that, like, you know, Christianity was definitely a thing, and they believe in Christ, they don't think he's the son of God. They still believe he's a prophet, and they're very respectful towards him. But they're like, you know what? Islam is number one. Like, they're always like, you know, Islam's number one. Christianity and Judaism and whatever else is, like, you know, the side religions. Islam's number one. So like if you go to like Israel, they're gonna have to say, you know, Judaism's number one. Like, that's like, we're the shit. You know, this is our club. Like, blah blah. If you go to Italy and you go to like, you know, the Vatican, they're gonna be like Catholicism and like Christianity's number one. That's our thing. This is our house, right? So like everybody's part of their team, and everybody thinks like, you know, that's like, you know, my team is the best one, and our God's the God, and everybody else is not. And that's been a general consensus forever. My entire life, it's been like that. We're against each other, even though we kind of like each other. We're against each other, but we kind of like each other. But certainly when I was being brought up and I learned about let's say the story of Jesus, it was definitely not without you know, the mention of the fact that he was betrayed by the Jews. It's just part of theology that you learn. Like, you learn that, you know, Judas was a Jewish man, and there was a bunch of Jewish people that betrayed Jesus, and it's just the way it is. So when he's talking about what he's talking about, it's a generalization of what everyone's been taught to like know about all these three religions, right? So I think that's just Piers is just, I don't know if he's playing dumb or if he's just maybe he's just dumb. I don't know.
Just being outwitted.
Maybe that's what it is. Like, he's just, I guess he's stuck in his boomer ways.
Well, like I said,
he's not elastic. He's not elastic. Like, Nick is he's better on his feet than Piers is. Like, Piers had his questions that he prepared, and he's not wavering from them, even though he should be, because Nick is coming at him like, defending everything and has good arguments, and he's not adapting, which is like, just shows his crustiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Peoples. There has been an historical antagonism as peoples. And you could even say the same about blacks in the United States. Of course, there were black and white people that were friendly with each other, but in many ways, they were set against each other as groups. And I think that's easy enough to understand.
The reason that many people think you're anti-Semitic is that you have regularly downplayed the Holocaust, and in particular, the number of Jewish people who were murdered by the Nazis. It's been said that you believe no more than several 100,000 have been killed. And I'm going to play you this clip.
People talk about, well, you know, what about the gas chambers? Well, to the extent that that's real, I find that hard to believe, but to the extent that's real, there have been atrocities committed and genocides committed in all times and all places. Let's acknowledge why Hitler casts the long shadow, because that confers a political benefit upon Jews. That's why.
It doesn't really sound correct to me. Wait a second. It takes 1 hour to cook a batch of cookies, and you have 15 ovens, probably in 4 different kitchens, right? Doing 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years. How long would it take you to make 6 million? I don't know. It certainly wouldn't be 5 years, right? The math doesn't seem to add up there.
You think that's funny?
It's funny. It's amusing what you're doing because, that one was a joke.
I like how he'll because he has a good sense of humor, so he'll just start laughing at stuff.
Do you want
terrible pause face? But he was just and then Piers Morgan's just sitting there with this glaring stare, like, you think that's funny? It's like, yeah, like actually, yeah.
95% of people watching think that's funny.
I know. It's like, that was funny. And what makes it even more funny is the fact that you were so serious about it. Like, look at his face. He looks like he's about to explode. Like, you think you're funny?
Yeah.
You're funny? Funny guy?
Funny Fuentes.
Fuentes.
Talk seriously about the
Do you
Holocaust?
think? Yeah, I do actually. I mean, I do, because I just find it extraordinary that you would think the Holocaust could ever be something that we can joke about.
Oh, come on! We can
Why,
joke
too
about
soon?
everything.
Is it too soon to make jokes?
How many people do you?
He's like, is it too soon? Chrissy, would you make a Holocaust joke for your
Yes
stand up?
I was saying, my gosh, I was sitting next to this person on the plane, and I'm not really like great at small talk, but I saw that they were reading a book about the Holocaust, so I tried to strike up a conversation like, oh, like, I'm really into fiction too.
Oh my God.
The whole flight.
That's good. You didn't get any laughs from Dante, but that was fucking
Oh
funny.
no, because I'm having some weird tech something happening over here. Anyway,
you okay?
No, I'm fine with Jew jokes. So
is the world Jewry coming to get you, Dante?
The Jewry.
I like the word Jewry. I think it's a good word.
Oh, I'm definitely going to use it from now on.
It's a good word.
You think died in the Holocaust? How many Jewish people?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe 7 million. What's the number? 6 million, something like that.
So you
8 million?
You concede that 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust.
Possibly more. Possibly, we're discovering all the time.
Oh, now
so
you're just fucking with him. I love this.
Why have you doubted?
Do you think he's fucking with him?
Yes, I think he's ruining his clipping. I think he wants to just spin his clippers round and round. He's like, Nick is like, I'm not giving it to you. Like, I'm just not doing it.
He's like, I think it's even more.
Yeah.
He's
like, okay, you're not gonna paint me into the corner you think you are.
Yeah, totally. Matthew Hammond over on Rumble says for $2, is Jewry taking out China, who makes manufactured diamonds, undermining their jewelry jobs? Matthew Hammond, that was a difficult super chat to read. Thank you. Or Rumble rant, I should say.
To the numbers in the past.
I'll tell you why. I really think that every death is a tragedy, however many Jewish people died in the Holocaust. And I'm not a World War II historian, so I'm actually open to believing the official narrative, and I've read some of the conspiracy theories. And to tell you the truth, it's a rigorous debate. But what's interesting about this is in many countries, it's not even legal to talk about it. And that's really where my interest in the Holocaust begins and sort of ends, to tell you the truth, is that—
You doing better, Dante?
Yeah, I just had to pop in
Restart.
and pop out. Yeah.
Sure.
if you wanted to question the number, you would be put in jail in about, 17 or 18 European countries. And I think that's really the more interesting conversation, which is that this is almost like a religious dogma in the West. No other genocide, no other atrocity is treated like this. Could you imagine if in the United States they said the number of Palestinians killed in Gaza is 100,000, and if you don't say that, you're going to jail, you're banned on X, you can't have a job? That's the part that's totally insane. And a lot of people, they can't even make up their minds. I think it's actually done.
That's actually I think that's really crazy. And I think it's a really good point. And I think that a lot of people who were actually accused of Holocaust denial was basically because of what you just said. They just asked a question like, is it really that much? How dare you even ask that question?
Perfect point for him to bring up, because it's not, again, Piers is trying to make it about him ad hominem. This is all about Nick personally, to get his viewers or everybody to hate Nick personally. And Nick is just, all he's doing is broadening it out. He's like, let's look at the patterns. Let's look at the behavior. Let's look at why we can't talk about the Holocaust in such a way. And and Piers refuses to like meet him on that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Just
this is making Pierce look really bad, honestly. Like, I
Mhm.
don't think this wasn't a smart interview.
No, he looks dumb. and
It
he
was a
looks like-
great interview. I think this is actually
No, I
like,
mean,
it
it
was
wasn't
good
smart.
for Nick.
Yeah, good for Nick, not for Pierce.
Yeah.
No, not so much for Piers, but it's also I think it's also great because it shows where his position is, and his position is that he is the old school liberal mindset, the old guard. He is
Yeah, but you know
that.
what though? But so is Bill Maher. But I think Bill Maher would
Right.
have gave a better interview with Nick
Yeah.
than
You think
Pierce.
so?
Oh, absolutely. I think Bill Maher would have did a much
I
better
think
job.
so too. Bill Maher is a bit more in touch. He's
Yeah.
a bit more grounded.
But also Bill Maher drinks and smokes a lot of weed.
That helps.
So
That
yeah,
does
I
help a
think that
lot,
I think
actually.
that does
Does
help,
help.
like at least with someone like Nick Fuentes, because I think you'll be able to pick up on the trolling and the comedy aspect of it. Whereas in Pierce is not really a comedian. I mean, Bill is. Bill
No.
Maher's a comedian, so he understands when somebody's trying to be edgy or make a joke or whatever. Whereas
But you know what
Pierce,
it is too,
like,
Nina, though? Like Bill Maher's podcast, where he's just, it's just the two of them together and it's like, his man cave or whatever.
yeah,
He makes the guests feel like relaxed enough that
Yeah.
they could be more open. Where right now,
agreed.
Nick's guard, even though it doesn't look like it, his guard is up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Because he knows what this guy's
Especially-
trying to do.
He's doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Especially after what he said about his dad. So
Yeah.
his guard is full.
Piers is like, I don't know. Maybe it's just my interviewing style is so different. Like he's just where it's like, Piers, why don't you, I don't know, try to get Nick to like you for 20 minutes? Why don't you
Yeah.
say something nice about him? Why don't you get his guard down and then get him to be honest? And then if you could get an honest nugget out of Nick, then I would consider this a success. But the whole time he is a cunt at the beginning and doesn't let up the whole time. And so why would Nick give him an inch?
Right.
Yeah. And and I think that at the beginning, actually, like Nick came in wanting to give him that, right? Like he was ready to be open and honest about whatever question he was going to be asked. It's just that like he started out very hot-headed with the bringing up the dad and is it really in a way like Nick kind of nailed it when he said like you're doing you're like how to be a murderer, like the making of a murderer thing, like you're trying to make me out like this psychopath that was like brought up in this house, this racist household where his parents wouldn't even take him to Applebee's because they were so racist. And it's like, no, bro, like that's not what's going on here. And like, yeah, getting someone to Chrissy, you're right, because like that's what kind of like Joe Rogan does too. Like he sits you down, you're having an interview, like he gets you to put your guard down so you can open up and like have a good conversation. Whereas this is almost like a hostile interview. This is like it's not or not a hostile interview, like it's an interrogation. This is an interrogation. This is not an interview. This is an interrogation.
Pleasant to listen to. It's not fun for either of them. No one's having a good time because Piers isn't getting what he wants and Nick is like, this is exactly what I thought it would be and I'm bored and I don't enjoy answering these questions.
Agreed.
If your goal, and I'm not saying you as Piers Morgan, but if you're an advocate for awareness about this, if your goal is to convince everybody that this is the way the Holocaust happened, I think the last thing you'd want to do is say that everyone that disagrees is in jail and is banned and you're not allowed to say it. So there's really been no open debate about the subject since the scholarship started to be produced about 60 years ago.
But there is no debate to be had about the number of people who were murdered. Even
Why
the
not?
Nazis in the trials after the war confirmed the numbers. The amount of documents.
What were you going to say?
No, that's just showing Piers because it is documented that there are different amounts.
I just think the idea of saying it's not up for debate. I hate that phrase. Like, why not? Like,
why not?
Even if you're right, that means I would lose the debate, right? Like you would show me what you have and I'd be like, oh, hey, you're right. There goes debate's over. But it doesn't mean that we didn't debate about it, right? like, let's just talk about it. Okay, you think it's more, I think it's less, or you think it's less, I think it's more. What is the actual number? Where are you getting your numbers? Where am I getting my numbers? Blah, blah, blah.
Documentation that was recovered, notwithstanding the attempts by the Nazis to destroy it, the amount of documentation that was saved and preserved and used for trials and for historical record is unprecedented in the history of mass slaughter of human beings. So we have a very clear idea of how many people were gassed to death in the gas chambers. We have a very clear idea of how many were starved to death, were kept in ghettos, died of disease, of forced labor, of death marches. We know how many Jews were slaughtered. It's at least 6 million. What's interesting to me is that you appear to now concede that, which may be news to a lot of your regular viewers who have constantly heard you quibble with the number of Jews who died in the Holocaust. And for the record, just to confirm what I think you told me, you do now accept.
I would say
at least 6 million Jews.
Like, we could all agree that it wasn't enough.
That would be terrible. I mean, in the best way possible. This is an interesting comment. Fran says here it was like 4 in the 90s, 271 by the Red Cross, and 3 in the 80s. When I was growing up in the 90s, it's always been 6. Like 6 has been the magic number about the Holocaust. It's all like, as far as I remember, when I learned about the Holocaust in Canada, it was 6. 6 million people died in the Holocaust. They freaking drilled that into your head.
Or else.
Yeah. You want to end up in the Japanese internment camp? We got those in Canada. That's what they were saying.
But you know, look, I think Nick is right. But I feel that way about anybody who you can't criticize, right? Like, obviously, like, for the longest time, there's been this long-standing thing, especially in Hollywood, where you can't say anything about the Jews at all, right?
No.
But now we're in a place where we can't say anything about trans people, right?
That's true.
It's, you know, who has special privileges when you can't talk about them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
true.
so for Piers to pretend that for the longest time that Jewish people weren't getting, you know, special treatment, he's full of shit.
And that's exactly what he's doing, is he's pretending.
Yeah, that's why it comes off as disingenuous. It really does.
Well, no, I said it could even be higher than
well,
that.
it could be higher. That is
I think
true.
it's at least.
But you
I think you're
accept
right.
at least.
It is at least. Oh, it's at least 6 million. But it could be 100
well,
times
people
more
are
than
going to
that.
be okay. The people are going to be.
Let me respond to the rest of your question.
Sure.
What you're saying, I understand where you're coming from when you say it has been documented and there are confessions and so on. Let that speak for itself. But you don't see, you know, your show is called Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Yeah.
But the United Kingdom is censored and Europe is censored. And if you talk about these things, you will be put in jail in many countries. And I think that's where a lot of people start to say, well, if the truth is so clear and if there's such overwhelming evidence, why do you need to throw people in jail for disagreeing? And you yourself said, well, there is no debate. I think everything is debatable. I think everything at least should be debated. And if the evidence is very one-sided, let the evidence speak. Don't throw people in jail. So do you think that Holocaust denial laws should be overturned?
And this is why people like them. This is why people like them. Simple as that.
This makes me like Nick so much more. And I haven't really watched much of his stuff. But
that's what I'm talking about. Like, Piers
himself.
tried to make it so that, like, this guy comes off as an undesirable piece of shit. I don't think he succeeded.
He comes off more like the average person.
Exactly.
I don't particularly agree with Holocaust denial laws. I don't think people should be imprisoned.
Okay.
Well, because I have a blanket view now, which has evolved slightly actually over the years, that I have a blanket view that speech should not be criminalized, right? People should be allowed to say what they want to say, and they should be then made accountable for what they say. If you have an employer, they can make a view about whether you are the right kind of person they want for their employment, as they would make a decision about anything else you do in life. So I actually believe that speech should never be criminalized. It's my personal view. I understand why in places like Germany, they have strong laws about it because they want to move on from what they believe was the most shameful moment in their history. I understand that. Do I want that in my country? No.
What was that, Dante?
That doesn't justify anything, man. Germany has strong views about it. No, a law is a law. Right? He said he doesn't like those kind of laws. Don't give Germany an out.
Yeah. There's a ton of guilt. The German people, it's like a trigger for them. They really feel like very sensitive about that topic.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Aren't you part German?
Oh, hell yeah. All we knew about grandfather is that he was a German soldier who felt very bad about the Holocaust. And that was it. The rest we can put together. And I said, Dad, was grandfather a Nazi? And he said to me, no, Chrissy. Well, who knows? I mean, the Nazis are really the top of the cream of the crop. And I don't know if grandfather was.
Oh boy.
It's one of those situations where you don't want to ask too many questions.
Yeah.
You should definitely try and get an interview with Nick Fuentes. I think you would do a better job than Piers
absolutely, yeah.
Morgan.
Because I'm too stupid to, I don't know, like it wouldn't be gotcha, it wouldn't be facty, it wouldn't be like going over stats and shit I don't know anyway. I would just be like, I would just want to like get to know this person that's so controversial and hated and.
Yeah, but the best part is though, is that people already call you a racist. I don't know if they call you anti-Semitic.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Yeah?
But then people also think I'm Jewish. So make up your mind, everyone.
Yeah, a German Jewish lady with red hair.
I was gonna say, are there a lot of like ginger Jews?
I don't know. Yeah, ginger Jew.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
It's my favorite candy.
The ginger Jews are being replaced by the blacks, Dante. You know that.
That reminds me, I'm almost out of ginger Jews.
The ginger Jewry is taking the world.
I appalled by what has been going on with free speech in United Kingdom in the last 2 or 3 years? Absolutely. It is ridiculous that people have been frog marched to prison cells for stuff they put on social media. Right? So yeah, I do. I think what is more interesting to me about our exchange is I was not expecting you to go the opposite way. I was not expecting you to be so emphatic that at least 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. And there'll be people watching this who I think will be very sad.
That's interesting because he's already kind of admitting, like, I'm coming at you from a really hostile angle. I was expecting you to say and deny the Holocaust, and now you're giving me nothing. You're giving me nothing here.
I'm upset that I sucked at my job.
And I'm upset that you didn't do what I thought you were going to do.
You came off likable. I wanted my audience to hate you, and probably a lot of them are subscribing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking shit.
Surprised by that because you have built a reputation for being, if not a Holocaust denier, then somebody constantly questioning in a downward way the number of Jews who were murdered. That doesn't appear to be what your position is now.
No, and here's what I would like to see for my entire career. When I started my show, it's
what? Who cares? What if it's less people? What does that change about anything? Like what? That makes honestly no difference to anything. If the number's off.
I mean, if you like, well, other than it would make you an anti-Semite if you said if the number was lower, from what I understand. I think that's how it works.
But what if it turns out that the number is lower? Like,
no. There is no debate, Chrissy. There is no debate on this. The numbers have been out. It's 6 or higher, Chrissy. It's 6 or higher. That's it.
I'm just saying. Let's say it was less. What would change? Nothing would change because like there is so much like the overall consensus is that it's 6 million. So even if it is less, it's like it's too late now, kind of.
I think what would change is the fact that they would not be able to, I guess, play as much of a victim as they do right now. Like if it becomes less, then it's like, oh, like I wasn't that many then. So I don't know.
Yeah, like what if it was 4 million instead? Right?
Yeah. Like what if it was 1 million? Like who gives a shit? It's bad.
We have to do a side-by-side comparison to all of the genocides and see how each group stacks up.
I think like people have done that, and I think it came out that Mao was the worst. Followed by Stalin, and then I think Hitler. Like it's surprising numbers, but it's like a lot of people say like Hitler's third, at least. Like Mao and Stalin are like very close.
They don't get it. They don't get enough credit.
They really don't. They really don't.
Started with a good faith inquiry where I was questioning a lot of these narratives, and I said, what is the answer on the other side? But what I found is that the answer was criminalized. So when you would talk about anything regarding Jews, Israel, the Holocaust, you could be in favor of the official narrative.
Wait. Genghis Khan? We're not going that far back, man. Come on now. Come on.
You guys are tripping.
Come on now.
On those things. If you went against, you were banned, censored, and in some countries jailed. And so I actually haven't made up my mind on that because that's not really a matter of interest to me. And there's a lot of analysis and scholarship on both sides of the issue. And I've read both sides of the issue. And honestly, unfortunately, it's hard to judge because there's never been a debate on it. And there's never been a debate because of the stigma, because of the censorship. And I think that leads a lot of people to say, well, what do they have to hide? Because you can say on your show, well, I'm personally against Holocaust denial laws, yet they still persist and the social consequences still persist. And I think that is the anomaly.
Yeah. And who's changing them? Nobody. If anything, like, I mean, I just read the other day they're putting more anti-Semitic laws and stuff like that, like in the U.S. And I'm not even talking about the U.K. because he's talking about Europe. But I'm talking about like what is it, Pam Bondi that came out the other day, and they were like, we're gonna put more anti-Semitic speech laws and blah blah blah. And I'm like, so not only is this not like what he's talking about not changing, like nobody's challenging this situation.
It's becoming more.
It's becoming worse. Like, so that's kind of crazy, actually.
Which is
and people have to wonder.
What was that?
It is concerning, and I think it's like it's weird that they would jump at the chance to put that in.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Okay, why is it that way? And what I said in that clip is the reason the Holocaust casts a long shadow is because it confers a political benefit upon organized Jewry. That is what they always fall back on. They cannot be criticized. They cannot be named. They cannot be talked about, lest there be another Holocaust. And no other tragedy is treated that way. And no other ethnic group has a get out of jail free card. Just play that. Anti-Semitism and Holocaust, you can do whatever you want and defend all your actions. That's the part that people are getting upset with. That's the problem.
I don't know any right-minded person who believes that Jewish people weaponized the Holocaust for their own personal get out of jail free or whatever.
A lot of people do. What? Just like some black people use the reparations thing and like use slavery as their thing.
Exactly. Again, Pierce is playing dumb.
Yeah, man. I mean, he interviews people that do that. I've listened to people he's talked to that do that. Like, they're like, this whole thing about, Israel and Gaza is all about that. Like, never again. We're gonna, it's never gonna happen again because we're gonna do it first.
Yeah. What's their phrase? From the window to the wall.
To the window.
The
to the
drops
wall.
down
I don't think it goes quite that way, Chrissy.
Something about a river and a
wait a
sea.
minute.
No, I think it's from the window to the wall.
Anyone that does that?
That is from
There
Little
are
John
people that do that. It's
3:16.
such a ridiculous generalization. The truth is that most Jewish people have lost relatives in the Holocaust. In fact, I want to play you two clips. One is where you talk about Adolf Hitler.
Hitler was a pedophile and kind of a pagan. It's like, well, he was also really fucking cool. So, time to grow up. We're not children anymore. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right, boys? Am I right? Let's go. He was also really fucking cool.
That is such a
Funny
Oh my
to say that Hitler was cool.
I mean, but it was also clearly a joke. He's like laughing as he's saying it. He's like, come on, like this is edgelord funny shit that he's doing for the internet. Like,
And even like, that's a stand-up bit. Like, just give like a couple of reasons why he was cool. And they don't have to be. That's funny.
Oh my God.
You regret saying
Didn't
that?
Kanye say the same thing?
Saying a fact? No, that's
Kanye, yeah, of course, but he's apologized now. He went to the one of the Jewry things.
They made him apologize.
Yeah,
the apology tour.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like, but he went to like a Jewish rabbi, and he got like
Oh, he did the synagogue tour.
kind of, yeah, like he got like forgiven by an official rabbi and everything. He was like, I'm sorry, I'm bipolar and like all this stuff. And I was like, well, wait, like if he's using bipolar as an excuse, doesn't that mean like in 5 minutes he's gonna start calling all them all like calling for all of them to get gassed again or some shit? Like, I mean,
Pretty much,
are
yeah.
you really taking bipolar as a thing? Like,
Might rescind this. Yeah.
like
It's kind of like having Tourette's.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes later.
You know what? Like, that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna be bipolar so I can get away with saying shit.
Oh man.
absolutely true.
You think Hitler was very fucking cool?
Yes, I do.
One of them.
And I'm tired of pretending he's not,
Well,
to be honest.
I want someone to remix that into a song.
Oh,
You think
shit.
Hitler was really fucking cool?
Right,
yeah,
Cool.
dude.
You know somebody's going to clip that, right?
Should have been like he was an artist. He was a multitasker. He did a lot despite having a weird penis. I've heard.
Yeah.
Always
had a
the
weird
weird penises do accomplish a lot because they have to make up for it. Mhm.
Oh my god. Yeah, we gotta get Sinatra on this Spike. Get him to make the song. That'd be great.
This is the problem, you see. It's a bit like when you just say, I'm a racist. You're a racist who thinks Hitler's cool, but you're not anti-Semitic. If you're a Jewish person watching this, what are they thinking? I'll tell you what they're thinking, because I've got a friend of mine called Danny Finkelstein, who, when he
Get
heard I was interviewing
Finkelstein on
you,
the
he's a
phone.
Times journalist.
This part is actually really fucking funny. Like, this is like so bad, but so funny. Have you guys seen this part?
No.
Either of you? Okay, get ready.
UK, very eminent journalist here and author, who wrote a book about his own family's experiences at the hands of Hitler and Stalin, because you also told Tucker Carlson that you admire Stalin. But let's just take what Danny said here.
Hi Piers, it's Danny Finkelstein here. As you're interviewing Nick Fuentes, you might try suggesting to him that he reads my book, Hitler, Stalin, Mum and Dad. It's called Two Roads Home in the United States. Since he says he's on Team Hitler, you might like to ask him about the fact that Hitler arrested my mum, tried to starve my mum to death, did starve my grandmother to death, sent my great aunt to the gas chamber, my great uncle, my cousin. My grandmother on my father's side ended up being one out of 7 children, the only.
Keep an eye on Nick's reaction as he's watching this.
Like, and also, this guy's making it about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
still a book, you know?
we're talking about like Jewish people using that as a victim thing,
like,
a victim
he's
card.
literally doing the thing that Nick says they do.
Literally, Piers is like, "Oh, here's the guy that's gonna play the victim card for you."
One that survived the war. So you might ask him whether he wouldn't rather be on Team Mum rather than Team Hitler. And as for celebrating Stalin's birthday, well, Stalin took my father, sent him to a state collective farm, sent my grandmother and to a state collective farm, sent my grandfather to the Gulag. You might try asking him why he doesn't celebrate Dad's birthday rather than Stalin's. It may all be a big joke to him, but he complains that he was 18 when someone tried to cancel him. Well, Stalin and Hitler arrested my mum and my dad when they were 10 years old. So perhaps he might like to reconsider his joke.
This guy's like the old,
that's
Jewish
the
version of Precious, man.
No, was that?
I'd say he's like the old Jewish version of Precious.
Not a lot of impact because that guy's clearly like reading off a script. It's like I would have rather. And look at Piers doing like, see, this is my Jewish friend. Like it's all about who your friends are. You gotta have black friends. You gotta have Jewish friends.
Don't you feel bad for me, Jewish friend?
Yeah, look at my cred.
Get ready for Nick's response, because I mean, this is great. It's funny.
Jokes, although I haven't ascertained yet whether you are joking when you say that Hitler was very fucking cool. Are you joking, or do you actually think he was very fucking cool? The most genocidal monster of the last 150 years.
Yeah, the thing is, my generation, we're just done with the pearl clutching. You know,
you might be, but then your generation hasn't gone through what Danny Finkelstein's family went through. So maybe the pearl clutching has a way to go for families whose family members.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, we got all that. Me mom. Like I don't even know who this person is. Why is this person talking to me? This old British guy is saying me mom got killed by Hitler.
Because he doesn't find it funny when you say Hitler's very fucking cool.
I don't care.
I don't care. I know you don't care. That's fine. You don't have to care. But he does care.
Does that guy care about America? Does that guy care about me and my country and my family? No.
He cares what you, a prominent conservative in America, has to say about Adolf Hitler. And what do you mean by Hitler is very fucking cool? Because I think he's very fucking.
He can't even get into it.
Like, Finkelstein's family was up to no good, it sounds like.
Oh my God.
Canada.
Oh no.
Has to say about Adolf Hitler.
Like
what do you mean?
Finkelstein right now.
Yeah. Oh no.
By Hitler is very fucking cool. Because I think he's very fucking a monster.
Okay. And that's a clip. I think he's very fucking a monster. Do you hear yourself?
Yeah,
I mean, can we all grow up?
I do.
Can we all grow
He
up?
murdered
That
12
is just
million
childish.
people. He murdered 12 million people. What is very fucking cool about that? Tell me.
The edits, it's just cool. The uniforms, the parades, it's cool as a guy. You look at World War II and it's fascinating and it's interesting and it's compelling. And it's cool. And, we're just tired of saying these kinds of things. We want to talk like real people and give our honest opinions. And then we literally get an old Jewish guy from England who's going to say, oh, that's not very funny, mate. Me mom. And it's like, shut up. Like, no one is in favor of genocide. So let's just get that out of the way. We're not in favor of a Holocaust or genocide.
Do you think if half your family
years ago,
you think if half your family had been wiped out by very fucking cool Hitler, you'd still think he was very fucking cool? Or would you think that actually he was a despicable monster who murdered 12 million people, who targeted people because they were disabled or Jewish or...
Yeah, like what? How did they get to 12?
Jump up.
Are they just okay? Maybe just not talking about specifically like
If you have a
Jewish
Philistine
people,
friend, then it is more. Then you get a few more million.
because I think he means like collectively with all like the the handicaps and all the other people he also killed, like not just the Jews, because it was I guess more people. He didn't like
some
handicapped people.
retards, I think too.
Yeah,
Gays.
something like that. Gay people,
Some
yeah, not
gays.
necessarily. I mean, I bet a bunch of gay Germans that were not Jewish got killed.
Oh, for sure. The gay
You know.
Germans definitely got lumped in.
People like that. I don't know. We got to 12 million somehow. I'm sure somebody out there will do the math.
Romany gypsy, or whatever it may be, and that he systematically destroyed people, incinerated them in gas chambers. Do you think that you would find it very fucking cool if your family had been through that? Or do you think you would find it very fucking disgusting? And perhaps moderate the number of times you laugh about it, or want to joke about it, or want to abuse.
Look at his expression the whole time. He's just like, I don't care. It's literally like it's become this thing where it like literally just it's a bulletproof vest at this point that's just bouncing off of him. Like he just doesn't care.
And Piers is doing it in such a performative way. Like no one's buying it. And it's not, you're not edgy, Piers, but like there's hundreds of people, oh my God, being scandalized about the Holocaust. Like that's not compelling enough in 2025. Somebody being, oh my God, this thing that might have happened.
Might have?
Just kidding.
Jesus, Chrissy, I'm still on YouTube.
I'm just being funny. I'm just being fun.
I know. Thank you, Ewing, for $4.99. The Hugo Boss uniforms were cool, definitely stylish. And Erica, the German March song is a banger. Wait, Erica is a German March song? I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to listen to that. This guy is saying it is. Erica is a banger. Okay, well, I'll have to look this song up. I've never heard that song before. I do think the uniforms were cool. I do like the haircuts are back. Like a lot of the young men now are getting the Hitler Youth haircut. Like that's actually like a fashion thing that's recycled around now.
Like
People,
high and tight kind of.
yeah, like the shaved, like the buzz cut. That's like super low.
I'll take a Hitler Youth haircut over those stupid broccoli haircuts. I never want to see one of those ever again.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
that's a Gen Z thing.
Yeah, I definitely think that's better than the Gen Z stuff.
Someone like Danny Finkelstein, who's written incredibly powerful books about what happened to his extended family at the hands of the Nazis and your other hero, Stalin. See, my point to you, Nick Fuentes, is that in parts of this interview, you try to come across as moderate, but every now and again, the mask slips. And it slipped again here with what you say about Hitler. There's nothing very fucking cool about Hitler. We know that from history now. We know what he did. You've already considered.
Look at it. He's just sitting there laughing at him. It matters not. Like it just does not.
Because you know what it's like. It's like a kid like arguing with his father.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like,
yes. It's totally like that.
It's like coming off like it's like your friend's weird dad. Trying to
like some British dude that's.
Yeah. And it's like, you're not my dad.
Yeah, and he's like scolding him. It's like fuck off with the scolding, bro. Like fuck off. Like you're not my dad. You're like not my British fucking keeper. Get the fuck out of here.
And you've just failed so miserably. Like he has not changed his mind 1 inch. He has not made him look bad, which he could have done.
By the way, you guys, over 751 people watching across all 3 platforms right now. Make sure you smash the like, share the stream, all that good stuff. If you're enjoying the jewelry.
That he murdered at least 6 million Jews. So when you say he's very fucking cool, Jewish people watch this and go, this guy's disgusting. Why would he say this about someone who perpetrated such an evil? And what's the real answer? Why do you? Is it just for clicks? Is it for money? Is it just for fun? For shits and giggles? What is it? What motivates you to say something like Hitler was very fucking cool?
It's for this. It's for all of this. And the lack of self-awareness is amazing. You're a boomer. You're a 60-year-old boomer. And we spent maybe 3 minutes on you saying, he's a really fucking monster. He incinerated people. And I'm sitting here saying it's not that serious. It's not that deep. And
not that
what
serious.
I'm getting at.
Not that serious.
Do you want to say more about he's a monster?
You're not a kid yourself anymore. You're not a teenager.
I know.
Right? You're nearly 30, to be clear. Okay? You're a fully formed adult who has a brain.
You're
He's
not a
being
dad.
like a grandpa, man. Like he's just doing the grandpa thing. Ooh.
You know, and Piers is one of these boomers, like similar to like kind of how my parents were, like that just can't accept that their children are adults now and don't need them and have their own thoughts. And you know, it's not your job as a boomer to like right the wrongs of your kid. You know what I mean? Like you're just at a certain point, like, yeah, sorry, your influence, the time of influence has passed. And like Nick is who a lot of people listen to now.
Yeah, and it's just it's even if he's trying to make a point, he's just going about it the wrong way. This is not how you get to where Piers is intending to go. It's the opposite of how you get to where Piers is intending to go.
So, what does pearl clutching accomplish? Like, that's maybe something. I mean, Nick doesn't have to say this, but like being scandalized, just like being offended at a joke, doesn't actually accomplish anything. You know, like canceling somebody over a joke or walking out of a stand-up show over a joke, like accomplishes nothing. It's like you're just making the moment about you. You want the attention because you're the one that's the most offended. You know, and the most offended person wins because they have the most. They're the most moral, and it's like it's ultimately kind of a selfish thing.
It really is. Yeah. Verbal, did you have something you want to?
Yeah. So I was going to say that the other thing that I guess we haven't hit on is that I don't think Piers is built for long form interviews, right? Like, so I was like, what is it about this that seems off to me, right? And I thought about his normal show, his normal platform, right, where he has like 5 guests on. He usually lets them do most of the talking, right? He's not doing most of the talking. So, like Bill Maher, Joe Rogan, those guys are built for one-on-one, long form interviews. I don't think Piers is built for this. I think he's out of his element. And he's looking real bad.
It's not the way to do it is to make it a conversation, and Piers can't do that.
Right.
He's like that. He's too bullet.
That's the thing, though.
Like he's too short.
I don't think it's necessarily that it's not. I don't think it's necessarily that it's like the format that he's having a problem with. It's the person. If it was somebody that he actually liked and enjoyed talking to, he could do a longer format interview and make it fun and make it entertaining and blah blah blah. Like I really liked his one-on-one that he had with Tucker Carlson because they have like a mutual respect. They have like, you know, they can talk on the same level, blah blah. This is a different type of interview where like he was trying to get Nick to be exposed for being a like insert blank, like an insert word here. Like I just think that this was more of an interrogation than an interview, and that's what it came across as. And I think like usually I think he would treat other people differently. I think this is how he's treating Nick Fuentes. Like that's he's making a distinction.
Failed gotcha, which has now devolved into like a boomery preachiness, and it's like coming.
Yeah, exactly.
At some stage, that brain is taking you off these rabbit
Is this an
holes.
interview or is this a lecture? Can I respond to what you're saying?
I want you to explain why you think it's fine to say how fucking cool Hitler is and to dismiss the very powerful 90 seconds from a British journalist who lost a lot of family members to the Nazis in such a callous, dismissive manner.
I don't think it's powerful. I think we've been hearing that.
Like he just did the Trump face. Nick just did the Trump face where he's like.
He does have a lot of Trump's mannerisms, and I think that's on purpose.
Finkelstein deserves respect.
You put respect on Finkelstein's name. You go and visit the hole where his whole family was thrown into.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Our entire lives. Okay. The Schindler's List. Let's just be honest. The propaganda is over the top. We have been in America.
What about
and
the Schindler's
everywhere-
List?
Hey,
Tell me about the Schindler's List. Well, tell me about the Schindler's List.
I'll tell you about it. We have been browbeaten as a people, as Americans, as Westerners for our entire lives. And do you know what this has done? It has taken away any sense of pride, any sense of love for our own civilization. We have been made the villain in our own story. We have been made because, but let's just be clear. It doesn't begin and end with Hitler is a monster. This has been the political narrative, which is why we have thrown open the borders. This is a political narrative, which is why we can't be a conservative society as a whole anymore, why we can't be proud of Europeans, why we can't be proud of being Christian, because they've told us if you're too white and too proud and too Christian, it's going to lead to a Holocaust. And so my generation, our entire lives.
Honestly, Nick
it's true.
Fuentes,
And that's why people like me. That's why I'm popular, because this is bullshit.
Honestly,
yeah, it's a crock. You don't want to hear any more about me mom and me dad.
What you just listen. What you just said is a crock of shit. And you know
true.
it.
It's called the open society.
In your gut, you know it is. You weaponize this stuff.
You know.
You weaponize this stuff for money, but you know when you say something like what you just said.
I'm banned from banking. I'm banned from banking and credit cards. You know who you're talking to?
Yeah,
do it for money.
by the way,
how much money you make? Your company's worth $100 million.
Pierce needs to shut the fuck up about the clicks and the money. Like that's like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you're not doing things for the clicks and the money. Come on now. Come on.
Your company's worth $100 million. I was banned from Bank of America.
And you shouldn't
I'm
have
banned
been.
from processing credit cards.
And you shouldn't have been.
But I am. So don't tell me I'm doing it for money.
Well, ask me my opinion about that. I'll tell you shouldn't have been. Right? I don't agree with that. What happened to
you? Then don't say I'm doing it for money, because you know that full well, and you say it's a
how
grift.
Much money? How much
if
money
I wanted
are
to be
you?
a grifter, I'd be like you.
How
and
much
I would
money
go
are,
and say,
how much money are you making?
I'm making a lot of money now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm the #1 live streamer in America, because people agree with me more than they agree with you. We're tired of hearing about slavery and the Holocaust and Jim Crow. We're done hearing about that. You guys
I'm not done hearing about that.
It's true.
Okay, well, your generation's on the way out, and Generation Z is coming up, and we're finished with that. We're ready to take our country back.
Yeah, and it's so interesting that like right at that moment he goes, "Well, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to stop talking about that." Well, guess what?
I can't let it go.
Yeah,
the
literally
curtain
just
is
proved his
coming to a
point.
close. Like this is it.
Yeah,
Like this
and
is
that's
what
why
it is.
You are having Nick on your show, and Nick is not having you on his show.
Yeah,
correct.
You
Like
need Nick for ratings. Nick doesn't need you for shit.
And this is why it's alarming where leadership is going next. Like, I think that's actually a lot more alarming because it just shows where the minds of the people are at. So, it's definitely not. It's not going to be what Piers would want it to be.
I've got three sons. I've got three sons, and they don't share your views about slavery and about the Holocaust. They can have decency and compassion.
Yeah, like he's Grandpa Pierce.
Oh, well, I oughta take off this belt.
I'm gonna make you go and sweep a chimney.
Yikes.
God damn it.
And humanity about some of the worst things that have happened in the last 150 years or more. They can do that, and they can also have concerned views about issues like immigration and other issues. The two things are not mutually incompatible. You can have different views about different things. It's your lack of humanity and compassion for people about things like the Holocaust, about slavery. It's that people find so contemptible. And I don't understand why you need to do that.
I think there was a question for a while because he was so kind of like alluded to, like Nick Fuentes was kind of like Lord Voldemort for a while, like just up to fucking 4 weeks ago before he went on Tucker Carlson. Like that's why people were saying, oh, Tucker Carlson's like the biggest anti-Semite now because he had Nick Fuentes on.
Yeah.
So for like the longest time, this guy was like, oh, you can't even talk about this guy. You can't even utter his name. And now it's like, he's come on like these big platforms. He's finally put out who he is in front of the world. And some people are like, you know what? He's not as drastic as
no. It's I
don't see him like, burning crosses and shit. Like, maybe he's not quite what people like Pierce would have had me believe. Like they're starting to make their own minds up about this guy. And it's starting to come off like, okay, like he plays him a clip where he's clearly joking and he's like, what did you mean by that? Were you being serious? And it's like, well, no, bro, like do you not have eyes?
I'd rather have Finkelstein interviewing him because like Piers, he hasn't been through it. Like he needs to bring in his he had this Jewish guy do a recording to play during.
Yeah, he was like,
that's so lame. It's literally
I
like,
know.
the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like, I'm phoning a friend. It's because like Pierce is so uncompelling on his own. He doesn't have any life experience there. He's like, I need let me bring in the Jews, bring in the Who's Your Friend,
bring me mom.
Yeah.
We've got a couple super chats here. The net I can't read these names anymore. The net are king, something like that. I'm sorry. Thank you.
King.
The Nethril King. Thank you for the $4.99. Says Pierce's show is centered around people getting into heated fights purely for views. Did he seriously try to make a grifter argument? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I completely agree with you on that. And I watch his show all the time and I like the debates. But come on, man, you're making money off those. Then we got Slosher here for $5. Thank you. He says Pierce feels about the Neopolitic Wars how Nick feels about World War II.
Napoleonic, I think.
Napoleonic, thank you. Napoleonic Wars.
There were wars about which ice cream was best, vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry.
No, Chrissy, that's the Neapolitan Wars.
Oh, well,
Neapolitan
I
Wars,
still
yes.
think it's vanilla, which is shock to no one.
To Pierce, it's just a historic event. There's no emotion attached to it. That's a really good point as well, Slosher. I agree.
Again, I just ask you, is your motivation financial? Is your motivation for fun? What is the motivation to saying these outlandish things, which you don't need to say, and which I suspect, I don't know, I suspect a lot of it is performative. So what is the motivation?
I'm an iconoclast. The Holocaust is not my religion, and it is treated.
Okay, are we gonna go here? Because I'm telling you right now, the chocolate wins. Thank you.
You're just saying that because Rebel Riot is here, Nina.
No, I just love chocolate.
I'm a strawberry man.
I don't like strawberry at all. That's my least favorite one.
Actually, I don't either. I hate strawberry, but
I hate strawberry ice cream.
Frank really likes strawberry.
I like strawberries like the fruit, but I don't like strawberry the ice cream because I feel like it's like artificial flavor.
Like I like strawberry when it's made with like real strawberries and there's actual strawberries in them.
Häagen-Dazs is actually bomb.
But strawberry flavoring, I
hate. Me too, Verbal. I'm the same way.
Like a religion with dogma, with blasphemy laws, and that secular religion says, and you say that's a crock of shit. It's intentional. It's called The Open Society by Karl Popper. It's by these architects of the liberal order after World War II. They got together and they said, how can we make sure that Hitler never happens? How can we make sure that totalitarianism never happens again? And they came up with a consensus, which is that we need to take down nations, religions, fathers, the authoritarian personality. We need to be empathetic and altruistic. We need to be diverse and pluralistic. And that experiment isn't working. And I'll tell you the truth right now, and you can laugh at this, you can scoff at this. Our people are being genocided in our country. 50% of the live births in the United Kingdom.
Well, hang on. These girls don't even know who Napoleon was, actually.
I know that he had a complex.
He was a freaking French dude who was short.
Look, he was a tall white guy with curly hair who was a great dancer. We all know who Napoleon was.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love Napoleon Dynamite.
Do this. God can't heal in my heels tonight, baby. Vote for Pedro. Come on.
Who doesn't know who Napoleon is?
He won a war or something sometime. No, I'm just joking. He actually lost to the Russians. There we go.
Dance.
And in the United States are non-white. In 100 years, my ancestors, your kids who are so empathetic and compassionate, they're going to be a minority. They're going to be a minority in maybe a Muslim country, an Indian country, an Hispanic country. And these Jewish people that are 100 years old talking about my grandparents and the Holocaust, they don't care about that. Actually, they like to see it. At the SPLC, they're literally counting down the days until whites are a minority in America. So forgive me if I don't believe them when they talk about compassion. There's a genocide going on right now. It's not against the Jews.
How many Christians are there?
In Gaza, it's against
How many
whites.
Christians are there in the world?
No, he's right.
Like me,
1 point some billion.
Yeah,
2 billion.
How many Jews are there?
15 million.
Okay. So with a straight face, you're going to tell me the world is being overrun by the Jewry, by 15 million people, when there are over 1 billion Christians. There is a genocide of Christians like poor old Nick Fuentes going on at the hands of these 15 million Jews. Really?
See, this attitude is why you're losing. When you say
who am I losing
white
to?
People,
Who am I losing to?
White people.
Who am I losing to?
You're seeing it. Mass migration. You're losing to me. We are losing as a civilization to mass migration. And here's the difference. In Israel, they have my politics. In Israel.
Oh, man.
Oh boy,
It's funny, and like he can be arrogant and cocky because like this is a bad showing for Piers. Like
it's not a good one.
It's funny.
Oh, they want to maintain a Jewish majority. If they had it their way, it would only be Jewish people. They're fighting like hell so that Jewish people can have as much territory, a Jewish state. They can be proudly Jewish in their own land. Whereas in America, we are being besieged by 10 million illegal immigrants in 4 years. And then whites and Christians are going to be the minority. And that's true in Canada, Australia, all the countries in Europe. So you could say there's 2 billion people, but what's the proportionality? What is the percentage of people being born that are white? Where's the arrow pointing? Where are we going to be in 50 years? In 50 years, there might be in Israel. In 50 years, there isn't going to be a white Christendom.
You don't believe people should get married, right?
I think people should get married. I'm a Christian.
But you're basically anti-marriage, really. You've talked about this. You've talked about.
Are we done talking about white genocide?
Well, I'm coming to the same part because you seem very resistant.
Terrible transition as an interviewer.
That was a really bad
terrible
transition.
conversation. He sucks.
Awful.
The idea of marriage. You've never got married. You've talked very scathingly about henpecked husbands. Just take a look.
That's true. Guys get to a certain age and they're like, you know what? Women suck. Like they're talking too much. They're not hot anymore. Like you're fat, you're chubby, you're not as hot as you think you are. You fucking talk too much. You're a bitch.
So we'll obviously get to the brazen misogyny part of that a little later. But I'm just curious.
You okay, Chrissy?
So much funnier than I realized.
Yeah.
This interview is all over the place.
Am I becoming a fan? This is nerve-wracking.
Oh no, Chrissy's become a groiper.
Thanks a lot, Nina. Now I have to get fitted for my groiper jacket. Or
to be fair, I do think he is a misogynist. I actually do think that. I think Nick Fuentes is a misogynist.
Curious.
Well, yeah,
on the one hand, there's this terrible genocide going on of white people. On the other.
Sorry, what was that, Dante?
I mean, he's part of like the red pill movement and all that shit. So I mean,
yeah,
part of no, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Not that he gives a shit about what I think of him.
These
or
are all
anything.
no, ma'am talking points.
He has a t-shirt underneath the suit.
Yes, that would be so
No, ma'am.
perfect. Oh man,
that's hilarious.
And you want people effectively to stop going near women because they all turn out to be so ghastly, so they shouldn't presumably procreate. So how does that work? I mean, aren't you with your rhetoric actively encouraging men not to associate with these ghastly women, therefore not have any more children? Therefore you are contributing, Nick Fuentes, to the diminishing white population. I'm confused.
I tell my followers to get married all the time. I tell them that it's best for everybody to get married.
That was some weird logic, right, Dante? Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm like, what is he talking about?
he's just so desperate.
He's like trying to like lead, like, so like I think what he's trying to say with all of this is actually this.
Why are you gay?
What?
That's what he's trying to say.
I'd respect him more if he did.
Yeah.
Just ask him.
Just ask him straight up.
Yeah.
I think that's where he was leading to is you're telling all these dudes not to get married, and he's like, I didn't tell anybody to get married. I just said I'm not getting married. He's like, I tell people to get married all the time because I'm Christian. But he's trying to get to a point where he's like, you just, you don't actually like women, so you don't want people to procreate. And he's like, that's not really what I'm.
Do you imbibe penis? Do you ingest it?
He wants to do this. Hold on.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
And I think that's the only way that you can have sex. I think that's the only licit way as a Catholic
Why
is
don't you
to
get
have
married
sex
then?
is within marriage.
Why don't you get married?
I'll get married later. It's been difficult for me because people are shooting at me at my house. I don't know that I don't want to have kids and a wife. My wife would be screaming about that. Me, I have to be able to take risks and be able to say these things. It's difficult to bring a family into a life that's like that. But for my followers, I tell them to get married. But what's happening with women?
You literally just told your followers. Hang on. In that clip, you literally told followers, women, they get old, they get fat, they get ugly, they get very annoying. So
he's talking about the wall, man. I mean, come on, everybody knows the wall exists.
Lloyd talked about it. It's
it's coming for us all.
You can't fight the wall.
Nope.
Can't fight the wall.
Oh my God.
Where's the incentive to get married to women? There isn't one. You're actively telling them
you're
the opposite.
You're extrapolating a lot. We can complain.
Just quoting you back yourself again.
No, but you're extrapolating and saying, well, you say women are annoying, so therefore, what's the incentive? We have to do it in spite of the fact that they are annoying. We have to do it in
This is great.
We got to put up with their shit, Piers.
This commercial for marriage. No, we have. It's the right thing to do.
In spite of their annoyance and being a piece of shit. That's what you got to do.
In spite of the fact that they talk too much, we can get them to lose weight. We can put them on peptides. We can get them to the promised land. But it's going to be.
Do you think this view of women maybe?
We can put them on peptides. I love it.
We can mix Ozempic into their coffee when they're not. We can do that.
That's like,
this doesn't look like my normal creamer.
It's like we can Cosby them once in a while. It's okay.
What, did you just inject me with something? No, go back to sleep.
Did you just slip something in my drink? No.
Why none of them want to go near you?
Oh, you should see my DMs. It is quite the opposite. They're called the Groy-bets, and I'm actually batting them away.
The Groy-bets?
Granted, not all of them are attractive. Some of them are attractive.
Oh, you actually? Just to clear up.
Oh my God, Chrissy just became a Groy-pet, you guys.
Groy-pet sounds like a kick line.
Oh my God. We see a T-shirt that says Groy-pet on it.
Am I too old to be a Groy-pet?
Yeah, you are.
Look, I have a bad back now. I've lost my flexibility.
Clear up one of the many theories about you. I have no idea what the answer is, and you haven't got to answer. But are you actually attracted to women?
Oh, there we go.
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay.
Ooh.
No.
Wow.
But I will say.
I told you it was getting there.
No, but I've tried.
Why are you gay?
That's all he wanted to do. He was waiting the whole interview to pull the why you gay.
Hey, that women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So
It's true.
there's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
They should stay at home.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old
Doesn't even
dinosaur,
care.
aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow
fossil.
old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
Oh
no, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy.
What a weird,
That's
what?
very weird. Nick is basically doing his touchdown dance. Like if he wanted to, like when I sometimes make the argument for women not voting, I'm like, ideally, a husband and wife would vote the same because they have the same values. Like I think it's so weird that there are these couples where like the woman is crazy liberal and the man's like,
that
why
never
is he
works.
Republican, and then like their votes just cancel each other out, which is stupid. It's like,
But also, it never works. Like I just had a friend of mine who was married for a while, and his wife left him because she was a liberal, and she was like, I can't handle like you not being woke like I am. So I just can't handle it. It's because it doesn't work. You guys are fundamentally different people. Like it becomes a fundamental difference, you know?
It's very weird for an older guy like this to be asking a younger guy, like, have you ever had sex?
Yeah, that is weird. Like this is a weird line of questioning. Again, this is not even like an interview, man. This is like a fucking interrogation. Are you a virgin?
Yeah. I'm surprised we don't see a swinging light bulb.
I know, right? Like,
but also, like, he would never ask that of like a Sabrina Carpenter or any other like chick,
correct.
right?
Or anybody else, really. Like, would you have asked that from anybody? Like, I don't think he would have. This is such a Nick Fuentes question. Like, I don't think maybe Destiny. Like maybe somebody like Destiny. Like
it's still like, what does that have to do with what you're talking about? Ugh. Like you could know that. Like I guess that's common knowledge that he's a virgin, but like just a judge would be like, excuse me, relevance, like
right,
yeah,
exactly. Relevance.
I don't get where this line of questioning is going.
Yeah.
Nick can now make the argument of like, look, I'm such a good Catholic that I am saving myself for marriage.
Yep.
Like
which he's going to. That's the argument I think he's going to say that.
He's never got laid. Wow.
That's the thing, though. You boomers, it's
you think
always
you're an expert in women,
free love.
given you've never got laid.
Yeah, we are going back to the Stone Age. You're absolutely right. This you're talking about empathy and your kids are empathetic and they would never laugh at a joke about the Holocaust and you're a misogynist. You're a simp yourself. You're totally henpecked. That's the problem. So
Let me play another clip of yours about women.
Simp.
A lot of women want to be raped. And when I say raped, I mean like, that sounds bad when I say it like that. But there's like a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the shit out of them.
What?
But also they have to pretend, but part of it is they have to pretend like they don't.
You think women want to be raped, do you?
That's what the studies show, Piers.
I hate to admit this, but it's true. The studies do show that. It's true. It's
again like Nick.
I don't think rape is the right word.
Yeah.
I think maybe like a little rough sex, just a little rough,
like domination. And
Yeah.
stuff like
For
that.
a man to take charge.
Yeah.
In the bedroom, like how women like it when men take charge in life.
There you
go. But also like unfortunately though, I think it's true about the rape thing. Like I think there's a statistic and there is a bunch of women that actually do like that. Like that's our sexual
Well, it's a
rape.
It's a fantasy, right? Like a rape fantasy, but I don't think women want to be actual.
Oh my God, I thought
no, it's like a kink.
This person in the chat said it's a homeless fantasy.
Like, what?
Like there's a fantasy. Like I have this fantasy where I'm homeless and then I get raped.
No, it said harmless.
Oh, I'm like homeless fantasy. What the hell?
Homeless. It's kinky.
That is what these statistics
But that's what
say.
you believe,
They
is
have
it?
fantasies. They have fantasies about it. I don't think that they want to actually get raped, but there's a study out there. Get ready for this.
Yeah.
It says 62% of women have rape fantasies. And if you read anything that they're reading, if you watched what they're watching, what do you think 50 Shades of Grey is about? What do you think Twilight is about? I mean, that's just true.
You think women want?
I don't know if Twilight was about that, but certainly 50 Shades of Grey was.
Piers, he's saying it's a fantasy, man. Not
like,
it's a fantasy.
This is why you got to like keep your ear to the finger on the pulse kind of thing. Like I just watched Chew on Head's new video about how women are reading like fucking milking farm shit. And I'm like, what the hell like is going on with literature and women?
Gotta keep your ear to the glory hole. You just gotta know what's going on.
Yeah, know what's going on. But if
I don't ever want like a woman to ever judge me for porn again when y'all are reading shit about minotaurs fucking and
exactly like
you spell minotaur without men. Am I right?
I mean, it's like no, like if women are reading shit like this, there's a problem. And if Pierce knew stuff like that, then he wouldn't be talking.
You know why? You know why this is a fantasy for women? Because of feminism. Because like a lot of women feel like they have to get up and seize the day and girl boss and crush it at their job, and they can't be vulnerable because they have to wear this armor all day. Like nothing bothers them, and they have to be super mom and super wife and super employee. And it's like deep down, a lot of women are probably like, "This sucks. I would rather just like." Be homeless and and be dominated.
Oh my God. I just want to make some dinner and like
can't I just make my trash fire in peace?
Homeless and violated is crazy work, man.
Oh my God. Thank you. The Nether, what was it? The Nether Nethralkin. Thank you. The Nethralkin for the $4.99. Homeless fantasy. We can't do it unless we're begging for change while living in a cardboard
with our fingerless gloves and pigeons flying.
That is a very specific kink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. You know the Anna has like a cosplay like that because we talked there was like a point in time where we were talking about like how she was like obsessed with Henry Cavill, and then there was like a drunk stream they did for the Jack Show a long time ago where she was talking about like how she was so into Henry Cavill, and then there was like all these like, well, what if he was homeless? Like, what if it was this? And I was like, what if he was hungry and homeless? And she was like, yeah, I would still take him.
I mean,
she did a cosplay of it, and it was
makes sense.
I just remember that because I'm like, this is so relevant to that topic. Like, hold on, let me bring it up. Do you know what I'm talking about, Chrissy? Her
it sounds
I don't.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll bring it up. So I wish she was here so she can explain the story. But like we were talking, like they were talking about like so Shane Davis was like, well, what if he was homeless and like he was like eating soup from a can? Like she was like, yeah, I would still do it. And then he was like, what if there's like, what's it called? Like cardboards on the ground with like cockroaches and this and that. And she was like, yep, that's all a go for me if it's Henry
The heart
Cavill.
wants what it wants.
Yeah,
You can't fight the
exactly. Oh,
moonlight.
here it is. So she actually did like an Instagram cosplay for it, for her calendar. Look at there she is with the cardboards and everything.
Wow.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it was like look, there's cockroaches on here. I don't know if
Oh
you
my
guys
God.
can see that.
Oh wow, I never
That
realized.
is called committing to the bit.
She come in like there's the cup of soup. This is such
Oh, wow.
this was such an inside joke
That's
for the
funny.
Jack Show. Rest in peace, Jack Show.
Oh.
Oh man. Okay. Chrissy has to go. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Chrissy. It went way longer. I was having way too much fun. Time
My
got
God,
away
this
from me.
really truly flew by. Like
It really
I
did.
planned on leaving an hour ago and I blinked and it's just this was really fun. This
Yeah,
was
I
this was a
love
good time.
you. I'm so glad that you came by. Tell the people where they find you and what you got coming up next.
Yes, follow me on Twitter at Chrissy Mayer. Subscribe to my YouTube. I have a show called Nightmare where I have in-studio guests of all types. And then let's see. Monday I'm gonna have Larry Sharp on the show, and then I got a bunch more scheduled for this month. Come see me do stand-up in New York City, December 28th at Rodney's. That's gonna be my friend Gino's birthday show. And yeah, so subscribe to my channel. What else? And yeah, that's all. This was fun.
So fun. Thank you for coming by. And I don't know if I'll see you before Christmas, but if I don't, Merry Christmas to you and
Merry
Frank. And Frank
Christmas.
Jr. Give me a kiss and a hug for me. And like,
I will. We went and saw Santa and he was like,
Aw.
okay. And then he was like, what the fuck?
oh my God, send me a picture of him with
Well,
Santa.
Apparently the trick, even Santa himself told me this. He's like, you have to keep their back to me the whole time. Which is the opposite of what you think. You think like, oh, get him used to him. Look at Santa, and then just plop him on his lap. Get the cute shot, and then before he realizes, like, this is a
Who
strange
is
man.
that?
you already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. That makes sense. I didn't know that. That's
Makes a lot of
interesting.
sense.
That's cool. Well, thank you, Chrissy, for coming by.
Thanks
See
for
you, Chrissy.
having me, and a chirp for you, Verbal Riot.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Verbal, do you want to keep going and finish it, or should we stop? We're about
Yeah, actually, I
this
do have
much
to
in.
keep going because
Okay, we can stop
yeah.
now. That's cool.
Getting a little later, but this was a good time. This was fun.
It
man.
was. It was a really fun time.
I learned a lot of things like jewelry.
Jewelry.
I'm going to use that from now on.
It was a good stream, you guys. I mean, we got basically through the whole thing. We even watched the part where he talked about him being gay. He is a virgin because he's saving himself for marriage. Nick is Verbal, and that's why he's a virgin.
Sure. Let's go with that.
But he like freaking what's his name shames him about it, and I'm like, dude, aren't you a Catholic? You're not supposed to shame people for being a virgin. Like that's like a fucking weird thing to do as a Catholic.
Pierce took a major L this show, man. Like,
He
and
really
again,
did.
I normally watch his show. You know, I like it. I like his show. You know, I like his guests. He wasn't ready for this.
No, he did take a little bit of an L for this one, but it was still good. And this was why I wanted to watch the stream of his, was because like I knew that he would be the one to actually say all the things that was going to be said to Nick Fuentes, because Steven Crowder sure as hell didn't, like Tucker didn't, but Pierce was at least brave enough to be like, why are you gay? Or like, why don't you like women? Are you having sex? Like,
Right.
like that kind of stuff. Like those like weird questions. Pierce was the one to ask them. And hey man, we got a really entertaining stream from it. So thank you, Piers Uncensored.
I know, right?
Piers Morgan. Verbal Riot, before we go, please let everyone know where they can find you, what you got coming up next.
Yeah, guys, you can find me tomorrow. VRL is back 6 o'clock PST, which would be 7 o'clock my time. You can also find me Saturday nights on Yellow Flash, Flashcast at 8:30, 7:30 PST, I think. Anyway, you guys, you'll find it.
Awesome. And you know what? We're gonna go and raid Anna because she is still going. So I'm going to put that in our stream right now. So just give me one moment. And I don't think we got any Rumble rants. I'm just checking. I think we're caught up on there. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope you had a great time with this EFAP. This was it was a fun EFAP, I thought. It was
good times.
Let me just go to customization on this. We're gonna go to redirect to Anna, that Star Wars girl. Anna, there she is. That Star Wars girl. Let's save that. Okay, there we go. We are ready. And with that said, you guys can find me here on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, where I talk about good news and just, try to flip this show around a little bit and remind you that there's still good things going on out there as well. And celebrate good humans and all that good stuff. So come and hang out with me at 2 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And other than that, thank you guys all for watching. Special thanks to those of you who super chatted, became a member, gifted memberships, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching the show and all of your support. And I'll catch you next time. Bye, everyone.